night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, it's too late to try to go contain it. A generation fueled by creation. We live lives on a small screen nation. We control the airwaves, no negotiation. I refuse to think we need saving. Something good will come from creation. And when we think that the world is too anxious, we'll adapt, evolve, survive, and save it. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong.
Oh, look at me. I'm retarded. I'm a globe.
No one told you life was gonna be this way. Your job's a joke, you broke. Your love life's the old way. It's like you're always stuck in second gear. When it hasn't been your day, week, your month, even your year. But I'll be there for you when the rain starts to pour. I'll be there for you like I've been there before. I'll be there for you 'cause I'm there for you.
The whole system is designed to disconnect you from your intuition. Why? Disconnected people are easy to manipulate. Everything from sunscreen to politics to the food industry. It's all designed to disconnect and manipulate you. We are in the middle of a war right now, but it's not a traditional war. It's a war on consciousness. It's a war on freedom. This is the time to listen, not to the news. No, your intuition, your gut, your heart. Love is the greatest weapon against darkness. How do you love more? You begin by loving yourself. How do you love yourself? You listen to the messages your body is telling you.
Nobody is coming to save you. Get up. Be your own hero. There's an African legend that says, in a race between a lion and a deer, many times the deer wins. Because the lion runs for food, but the deer runs for life. The moral of the story is this: purpose is more powerful than need. When your why is as strong as your need to breathe, nothing can outrun your will.
Slaves used to work all day, every day, with no pay. But they got free food, water, and shelter. Today, we work all day, nearly every day, and we get paid. But the money we make, we spend on food, water, and shelter. We're still slaves. The only thing that has changed is the illusion of freedom.
I just know we found something so wild from the ordinary. You got me kissing the ground from the sanctuary.
I'm scared, Dad.
Do you trust me, son?
Yes.
Come on, son. Rule number 1, never trust anybody.
Stop! Don't touch me there. This is my no-no square.
I am struggling extremely with mental health issues, and I am trying to do that whilst being FTFE. And unfortunately, talking to flat earthers is quite painful.
All right, thank you, Craig.
Riverside, wait for me, wait for me. I'll be coming home.
Law. Nowhere in nature or in a controlled environment can we ever produce a volume outside of containment.
What's that?
Has gas been seen or
What's that, brother?
Now let me see you drop it to the floor.
Chicken, banana, chicken, banana, chicken, banana, banana, banana.
I remember when I lost my mind.
All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and Eldon, that was for you. We'll play it again during the broadcast too. We know how you like that little gal. She's got talent coming out both ends. She can sing out both ends. That's what we got going on there. It's like she's her own backup singer. What do you think about that? Oh my God, look at all these people that are in here. I got a couple of people backstage. I'll bring them up here in just a minute. Let me get through this menagerie of miscreants that have come to see Sovereign Soul Unchained Mind tonight. You guys are the best. We got D-Man out there, Chicago Cubby Bear. We've got, and they're not backstage. Now, I do have Roger Ledwell back there. We got No Despair Bear out here. We've got Spyro Graffiti, Unindoctrinated, Eldon. Yeah, we got your girl up there. We got her. You know what? Just because.
I remember when I lost my mind.
There you go. That was a bonus one for you, bro. That was a bonus one for you. We got Spyro Graffiti, the Samoan Watchman, Flat Earth Outlaw, Dirty Ketchup is here. Of course, Roger Ledwell, Heresy Seed, Peter W. I've got Saddlebum out here, Ida Hot, Heresy Seed. Marcy Chan has joined with us here tonight. We've also got David. There's a lot of Davids. You have to be a little more specific. Welcome to the consortium of Davids. Let's see who else we got. J.R. Hartley, he was in here early on. One Mind, One Spirit is here with us tonight. The True Few, Michael Simard. Oh, my word in heaven. Martin Haley. Martin Haley, probably related to that comet, if I'm not mistaken. Now, the True Few is here. Santero. Oh, my God, I'll be here all night. Sue. Martin Haley. And, you know, that's actually one of my pet peeves, like with my lunch break, because he sits there and talks about it. You know, I have to fast forward through that, you know, because it's like, that's cool that you shout out to all your members, but I want to talk about the fucking buildings and how they're alive. That's what I want to talk to. So let's see. I've got Derek Nelson back here. We've got Bryce Sully, and we've got Roger Ledwell. How are you guys doing tonight, man?
Well on, guys. Yeah, all good. We all good?
Yeah, man.
And Derek Nelson, that's a
hey.
refreshing
I'm
change.
just taking it easy. I was just looking to hang out. Hope you boys are doing well.
Yeah, man. What are you watching, Bob Ross? Is that Bob Ross painting little happy trees and shit?
Yeah. Roadways. Yeah.
You know, have you heard the theory about it, that he might be a fucking serial killer? And that these places that he paints, that's where he's getting the bodies at?
It's a map. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a rabbit hole, man. It's a little bit of a rabbit hole. There's some real shit to it. I haven't really gone down it a whole lot because I like Bob Ross. I used to like to sit there and smoke weed and watch Bob Ross. I just knew that I was already smoked enough weed when I was getting ready to go to Hobby Lobby or some shit and buy all that stuff to paint like that. I go, no. Reality check, Dave. You're not going to make happy little trees. You're going to make little happy fucking blobs of shit on a canvas. It's never going to look like that shit right there. Just sit back and enjoy this calm dude painting scenery. That's what I do.
Smart move, Saw. Smart move.
Did you guys see where Stinky Cash's video about him talking to the Long Branch town council about all those fucking Israeli flags out there. That shit went viral all over TikTok. Now people have been sharing it on X, and now some guy wrote a song about his video, and it's really quite good. I was going to share that with y'all here tonight, if that's agreeable to you.
Oh, I'm totally down for it. I like to hear the song. I would love to hear it.
It's pretty good, man. I think you'll like it.
Kushner's Israel.
They're flying their flags in Long Branch, and we're not talking Old Glory. Not the one that flew on the Liberty, that's an entirely different story. No, it's the blue and white flag of Israel, that's the one that they celebrate, as they brazenly flaunt their allegiance to an ethnic supremacist state. We're the land of opportunity, where you can live the American dream. But to some it's just a great chance to corrupt the nation's bloodstream. They're flying their flags in Long Branch. We're not talking Old Glory. Not the one that flew on the Liberty. That's an entirely different story. No, it's the blue and white flag of Israel. That's the one that they celebrate, as they brazenly flaunt their allegiance to an ethnic supremacist state. We're the land of opportunity, where you can live the American dream. But to some it's just a great chance to corrupt the nation's bloodstream.
I remember when it was a term used for people who didn't like Jews. Now it's a term used for anybody who the Jews want to silence and discredit. It doesn't work anymore. People can see through it.
DC Dave. So I'll put a link to that in the chat for anybody that wants to go ahead and check that out for themselves.
That had a little bit of a twang to it, sir.
It did. It was like country rock. I kind of liked it. It's aggressive.
It's better than being progressive, right?
I liked it. I thought it was pretty good. So yeah, that's the link is there in the chat. I'll put it over in the private chat too, in case y'all have access to that. There
We got accosted by some stormtroopers on the way home.
No way. What happened?
Well, I rear-ended somebody, not on purpose, but they wanted me to hang out and they wanted me to sign this document saying I just did something criminal.
No.
Yeah.
So Party Poet, I talked to my son and we're going to work something out. See if we can't work something out this weekend to do a show to have you come on. I'll message you with more information on it.
Yeah, except it can't be a show because some of the rules are being bent and you don't want to publicly state you're going to be bending rules. It would be better if it was like a Zoom call and then you edit parts out, the parts where you're bending rules.
It sounds kind of shady, man.
It's not shady. It's basically...
If it's so shady that I have to hide in the dark to do it, there's something wrong.
The way sovereignty works is it cannot be displayed publicly. The weirdest thing, like for instance, the magic words to say in court, the ones that declare you a living man, there's a few ways to say it. If you read it in court, like basically whatever the hell you want to say, if you're actually reading it off a piece of paper, it doesn't count worth a damn. The judge will even tell you they're not prepared to accept anything you say because you're reading it off a piece of paper. This whole game is designed with really weird rules. Like basically, your son can be your trustee, but your wife can't. You know, it's like fucked up.
Why?
Well, I have no idea why they invented
When
the
you
game.
say you're trustee, do you mean your backup?
And if you're your own sovereign, if you're sovereign unto yourself, what the fuck do you need somebody else's permission for?
No, in the game of when they invented your trust, they basically said that you personally cannot go access your money. You have to go get someone. That can be anyone you want it to be, but they act as your trustee. In the game of your trust fund,
A guarantor.
No. No. The guarantor is someone else. Let me put it to you this way: in the trust fund game, there are two people. There's the beneficiary, and the beneficiary can only benefit. That's all the beneficiary can do. They can only go and benefit. And then there's a trustee. That's anybody the beneficiary picks. And the trustee, it's up to the trustee to benefit the beneficiary, but it's up to them to decide whether or not the beneficiary should get what they ask for. So if the beneficiary came to the trustee and said, I want to buy a gun to kill myself, it's up to the trustee to say, I'm not going to help you do that, and I'm not going to give you any money to do that. But if the beneficiary comes and says, I want something, and it helps me, and I really want it, then the trustee has to go and get it. And there's perks, the trustee actually gets paid between 3 to 8%. The average is 5 for whatever they do. So if, for instance, Jerry here wants to buy himself a brand new car,
Tell us how you did it yourself. What exactly, step by step, did you do to get your $5 million?
Okay, I went and got me a trustee. Mm-hmm. That means basically two people playing the game. Mm-hmm. Okay, and I told the trustee that I want $5 million. Mm-hmm. And that's when I was a beneficiary, but I was I'm still a trustee to the other person, and the person said to me, I want $5 million. So the
trustee of your estate, how did you do that?
Okay, that's something called basically there's a few forms that you fill out. One of the first form is filled out by the beneficiary to say, this is what I want. And they submit that to the trustee, who then submits a few other pieces of paper going, this is a good idea. Please cut me a check, because if you want, let's say,
right, that's my question there too. I may stop you from time to time because you can, I know that because you know all this, that you want to ramble right through it, but there's people here, we got questions. All right. So
no problem.
That you fill out, where does that come from?
That sounds like a guarantor. Sorry.
Yeah, the guarantor is the IRS. That's the person who guarantees that the money will come if you ask properly for it. Right. That's who the guarantor is. So it's pretty much guaranteed when the IRS says, we'll give you the money. But basically the paperwork I describe I show you a website called which legalibus.com. And if you go to it, they're going to ask you to basically sign in. And since you don't have a sign up, you basically tell them you would like to join, and it was recommended for you to join, as long as they see that it was recommended, because they want somebody to warn you ahead of time not to ask silly questions.
Okay. Well, what I'm wanting to still didn't answer my question.
Okay.
Checks that I've ever seen, right? That they have like a routing number and an account number and all that good stuff all across the bottom of it.
Right.
It has a place where you fill in the numerical amount of what the check is for. And you also fill in through writing, you write in the amount that the check is. So in other words, spelled out in English, you have to have $5 million. You have to have the 5 with the comma and all the zeros, all that good shit.
Let me explain it this way. First, the beneficiary fills out a form called the 1099A. That's the most popular thing on YouTube, by the way. If you just type in 1099A, a lot of videos will come up on it. Then he gives that, or she, that person, then the beneficiary then gives that paperwork to the trustee, saying, this is what I want, whether it's a car or a house or money, it's irrelevant. This is what I want. This is where it is. And this is what the person wants for it. So let's say, just to make the numbers easy, we go with $1 million because just easier to work with. So the beneficiary wants something for $1 million. Then the trustee then goes, you know what? That's a good idea. You should have that. So I'm going to ask the IRS now for basically $1 million plus 50 grand, because the the trustee gets 5%. So basically the trustee then asks on a form called the 1040V, which is basically, and the 1099 OID.
I'll tell you what, we'll get into this with me and you and Ryan. Okay.
Absolutely.
Right now, this is starting to turn into such a fucking snooze fest. I'm losing viewers.
I got you. How about this? I made a video that pretty much I basically go over the perks of being a beneficiary as I show you the paperwork that is available on like I said, legalibus.com. And when you go there, just say, can I have a free sign up, or I forget how it goes basically, but you click on sign in, and then you can't, or log in.
Here's what you do. Go ahead and put
I
the
think
link.
this is a discussion to be had another time.
Yeah.
Personally.
Let's put
basically, but it's a discussion that's a little bit off air, because the rules.
I understand that. We can do that as well. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So that being said, put the link back in the private chat. I'll share it out here into the regular chat.
If you just type in Party Poet 2012 on YouTube, it takes you to one video.
Yeah, I've got it bookmarked.
Okay, and that video pretty much explains the benefits of, trustee and beneficiary, and that there's an account that exists that they don't want to tell you about, and that you don't have to go to jail if you don't want to. And buses are so basically, and while I do all that talking, I show you the paperwork.
Cool. Wait a second. Hey, instead of describing the whole video to us, everybody go to the link that he just said. Those of you that are interested, and go watch the video.
If not, let's crack on with Sov.
What?
Oh, and by the way, I want to thank you. The last time you said that, I think 5 people went and saw the video.
Wonderful, wonderful.
That's more. That's more than one people. So that's good, right?
Yep.
Oh no! Actually, believe it or not, the oligarchy is really doing its best to convince people that this is even crazier than flat Earth.
I
So-
knew.
Well, wait
I
a
knew
second.
what you said, and this to me is quite wild. So I'm here to listen to Sob and just learn.
You have to
I don't know
understand.
what this is. I'm not going to lie.
The only people that really view flat Earth as ridiculous are people that have never been able to use critical thinking skills, have never thought of it, have never tried to really think about what it is they believe. And this is basically because most people are a product of the perception deception. In other words, they just buy information based on whoever the fuck it was that told it to them. So you can put up some guy they don't even know and say that he's a leading expert on some bullshit. He might just be some fucking guy they grabbed off the street. You don't know. He just reads a script. People believe
flat Earth is pretty obvious. So in my, and I'm still new to it. So
it's like I don't observe a globe Earth. I really don't. I never have observed water moving and sticking to the outside of something, and never have I ever seen any of that shit happen ever.
Yeah.
So the thing is that's their whole gig is the reversal fallacy. Okay.
Yeah.
It'd be like me saying, hey, you know what? I can turn into a fucking chicken. Prove that I can.
Well,
right?
they actually.
I have to prove that I can, right? I'm the one with the positive claim. That's what they do. The observation is the default position. So
Well, what they end up doing as far as lawyers go is they teach the lawyers in school that this is insane. And then when the first thing most people do when they hear about money is and something that they think they're not sure about, they run to a lawyer who tells them this is insane. And this game has been working pretty good for them.
I don't know where we're going with this.
Oh wow! Yeah,
no, basically lawyers. Basically, this is the way the oligarchy. The oligarchy has figured out ways on how to hide its dirty little secrets. And the first thing starts with our free education, and then
it's really education. It's indoctrination. It's obedience school for slaves. That's all. We've got
well, you don't know it while you're going through it.
Huh?
You don't know that you're being indoctrinated while you're going through it.
Because they took you as a trusting child, told you that you were going there for your benefit and that these people were going to make you smart. Well, they didn't. They didn't make you smart. They made you dumber and fucking batshit. They taught you 12 years of nothing. They taught you how to raise your fucking hand. They taught you how to respond to a bell. They
want you to think.
They don't teach you how to think at all. Memorization and regurgitation of information. That's it. That's why you've got these retards out there going, mass attracts mass. No, it doesn't. That's a myth.
Yeah. So, didn't we have one of those on the other day?
Oh my God, Wes.
Yeah. By the way, another one's going to be on.
If in order for an object to move, there has to be a force applied to it, right? Yes. Okay. Well, great. Where does the energy for that force come from? They never even thought beyond that. They just were told mass attracts mass. Okay. Why do you think that? Oh, because some fucking crackpot hung some steel balls out in his goddamn shed or some shit. Get out of here with that nonsense, man. Guy was eating paint chips.
You know, the one that a lot of people don't talk about is if you pull a yo-yo while it's spinning, it will always form a cone shape. And yet the sun pulls all the planets and everything is in one straight line.
What?
Does that? Does that happen for real? No, it doesn't.
No.
If you pull on a yo-yo while it's spinning.
So you believe in gravity or something?
No, I'm saying that the model that they show us
I
is a
know.
straight line. Yeah,
It's a circuit. It's a circuit. The sun and the moon do a circuit in the sky. The sun and the moon do not have anything to do with what you're standing on at all.
Yeah.
None of that
No,
shit
but
in the
this-
sky is even in the realm of science. Okay, none of it. None of it is even in the realm of science
no,
because you
but
can't
what
do
we
anything
were taught.
with an observation of it.
Do you ever use
No.
whenever you use a yo-yo? What moves did you do? There are some moves we can go down. There's some moves you go across. What do you call them?
Yeah, but if you
How to
but if you
explain that?
pull, no, but if you pull on the yo-yo, because we're being, according to what we were taught, the great attractor, everything's flying towards it, and the sun is doing most of the pulling according to the model. Then it should be pulling everything in a cone-like shape
Yeah, but see,
instead
that
of.
yo-yo doesn't pull other objects toward it, does it?
Nope, it's just attached
That's
to
a
your
good
hand.
point. No.
It doesn't. It
It's
doesn't.
got a string on it. That's
See,
the
that's
only
why I
force.
love when they go, well, the Cavendish experiment. Oh, okay, well, the Cavendish experiment. You're claiming that these two objects, merely by volition of their existence, exerted a force that attracted them to each other. That's what you're claiming. Okay, great. That must mean that if you think that that's what it is because of mass attracting mass, then you have found out where that energy comes from. Where does the energy come from? And how can it be a constant? How can the energy source never run out? Those are just
According,
impossible.
yeah, but according to the model, the sun has all the energy we need to do that.
You said hang on. You said according to.
Hold on, wait a second. How does anybody know what the sun is, how big it actually is, and how far away it is? How does anybody actually know that? You know that since the time of Copernicus, who calculated the sun's distance at 3 million miles, and up through history, it kept getting increasing until we got to Newton. Newton calculated it at 28 million miles, and then later he went to 54 million miles and said, whether it be 28 or 54 million, it doesn't matter. It suits our purpose. That's a very scientific thing to say. All the way up to the point now where we have it supposedly at like 93 million miles. How in the fuck does anybody know that?
Because the math needs to work out.
They changed the model, and we don't live in a model. We live on the earth.
Yep.
And as far as the globe is concerned, they don't have a working model because just its inception incorporates physical impossibilities that cannot be reconciled.
Oh, no one here is arguing with you that.
Oh, yeah. I put that out there because I got people in here that watch. We got a good guy that comes up here, Wesley. He's like a serious man-child. Acts like he's about maybe 14, but he's supposedly an adult. And now he's gone from just being an engineer to now he's a forensic engineer.
Hey, Sal, I got a question for you. How far did Tycho Brahe say the sun was away? Like 3 million miles, I think? Something like that?
I think it was 5.
Yeah. So, I mean,
then-
yeah, that was the first geocentric globe model they ever made was Brahe. We weren't moving in that model.
Right.
So, yeah.
Let me see. Where is those things at?
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Is that one?
I'm really surprised.
I have a list. Oh, wait. I know.
I'm really surprised they put a model forward that contradicts their view on reality.
Well, they make it. They remake them so-called models just to suit whatever question you have, and they'll add all kinds of ad hoc
Here we go.
fairy tales to go with it.
Here we go. I got the list right here.
I know you got that little list.
20 things a flat earther says.
No. This is a list of the distance that all the major astronomers actually put out there. I was right. 3 minutes.
Copernicus said 3. Tycho Brahe said 13, and then Kepler killed Tycho Brahe and stole all his work, so he said 13 too.
Okay.
But then you see we have Newton 28 and then 54. I'm like, really a lot. You know, if your bank made that kind of an error, you know, on your account, you've noticed, right? There's a guy had 81 to 82 million, then it went up to 95, then all the way to 104, and then here we are now at 92 to 93 million miles. I mean, come on, only 90 miles, 100 miles, 100 million miles worth of difference. I mean, for crying out loud, that ain't much.
You know, that's a small gap. So that's a real small gap. You know?
No, it is not.
Yeah, well, you know, I was before we look at that, who in the world is making all that noise?
I think it's Bry.
Brian, are you moving your microphone around and shit?
Or is it Party?
No, not me.
All right, so
are you rubbing your microphone?
No. No, I'm
hang on. Yes, I do that. There.
So the White House is in serious fucking damage control mode right now. They had this meeting in the Situation Room with Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, all this shit, because now they've sworn in that Democrat representative from Arizona, and the vote went through to release the fucking Epstein files. And some emails have surfaced that showed that Donald Trump was actually aware of what Jeffrey Epstein was doing and still hanging around with him and shit. So we'll go over some of that shit. This is some craziness that's just kind of going crazy. I'll bring this thing up here first that I just now ran across, but I've got even more. Nobody said for you to talk yet, little dude. I'm going to share this here. Here we go.
Yeah, but how do we know that it won't be the same thing that happened to the Dixie Chicks, and they won't be allowed to talk about it until Trump loses?
There's way more public shit behind it. The social media is basically where everybody is getting their information from these days. And as soon as something comes out, I think it's 163 countries. X is like the #1 source of news in like 163 countries now. And people are seeing the bullshit.
Hey, stop. Can you see if your microphone on your laptop's on? That's what D-Man's saying. Yeah.
Yeah, but people still think COVID is safe and effective, don't they?
No, they're not.
There we go. That's better.
Yeah, there you are.
That was the wrong fucking microphone. Yeah, that sucks.
Dang it. We're trying to blame it on everybody else.
That wasn't the feedback. Wasn't coming from me.
I don't know where that feedback's coming from.
I don't know. It's gone now. We're good.
Yeah, good.
Anyway.
The White House is panicking.
Breaking news, CNN has learned there will be a meeting today inside the White House as aides try to manage a potential House vote on the release of the Epstein files. This comes, of course, just hours after Democrats on the Oversight Committee released emails from Jeffrey Epstein himself mentioning Donald Trump by name multiple times. I want to get straight to CNN's Caitlin Polans. Caitlin, what are you learning?
What one source tells me is that this meeting was planning to include some key figures from the Justice Department, the FBI Director Kash Patel, the Attorney General Pam Bondi, the Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche, and then one of those Republicans in support of transparency, Republican Representative Lauren Boebert of Colorado.
Well, let me get this straight. They're meeting with Kash Patel, the FBI director who told FBI agents to flag any Epstein records that mention Donald Trump's name. They're also meeting with Attorney General Pam Bondi, who was the person who originally told Trump that his name appeared multiple times in the Epstein files. That meeting is also including Todd Blanche, the United States Deputy Attorney General. By the way, on July 24th was the top Department of Justice official to meet with Ghislaine Maxwell, the same chick who was sentenced to 20 years in prison for conspiring with Jeffrey Epstein to also sexually abuse minors. By the way, all of a sudden, after that meeting with Todd Blanche, decided she wanted to make a statement saying that she never saw Donald Trump in any inappropriate setting with Jeffrey Epstein. And suddenly, after that statement, started getting custom meals and puppy time with other prison benefits in jail. And then there's Lauren Boebert from Colorado, who's now apparently attending this emergency meeting. And a lot of people are like, well, what the fuck is she doing there? All of this has to do with the discharge petition. All 213 Democrats have already signed the discharge petition, and 4 Republicans have signed on, including Lauren Boebert. Once again, Adelita Grijalva getting sworn in today, finally after 7 weeks, will be the 218th vote to make sure that they can release all of the Epstein files. But they're inviting Lauren Boebert into that emergency White House meeting because they're trying to flip her to change her vote to a no. And apparently, new reporting is showing that Donald Trump himself is calling Lauren Boebert and Nancy Mace, both of them, to try to change their votes to no. These are the fucking great lengths that Donald Trump is willing to go to make sure that these today. What the fuck are you hiding?
No shit. We already know. We already know. That's all we have to know is who doesn't want to be seen, who's wanting this thing hidden, right? And who's just voting to release it so they can get ahead of the fucking story. You know what I'm saying? This is great. Let me get over to my.
So it wasn't it, you know, it's funny that it's made such a, it's blown out of proportion, right? When certain other big things they want to keep out of the media for the time being, kind of like this. They were talking about on the east or the west coast of, you know, possibly being a submarine there. You know, it's kind of now all these big topics are almost, I mean, to me, it seems like it's being pushed aside so that people don't panic over there, you know, so they're talking about Ghislaine and things like that. But yeah, that's funny. They said that she's getting puppy time and like sweets and shit. Like,
let's not forget when she gave that testimony that what do they call that, a deposition. Then Trump moved to a lower security prison in Texas and shit. And there was a lot of people pissed off about that. But then this is what they always do. It's always some other fucking little bullshit that comes up and everybody forgets everything about it. See? And they thought that this thing was going to blow over because of the Charlie Kirk bullshit. See? They showed a really elaborate fucking story right there. They've shown an elaborate story. Now I see that Kash Patel's girlfriend is suing Elijah Schaffer and some other people for like $5 million for saying that she's an intelligence honeypot operation. And
5 million, you said? That's a magic number nowadays, isn't it?
Yeah. But here's how people have responded to this. It's funny. It's funny.
Yeah, so the other day I was down my local supermarket, obviously in England, and I heard this dad and son waiting for a taxi, right? And this dad, I overheard, was talking to his son, who must have been about 10 years old. And all I heard was him saying about Trump is digging America into the ground. America is going under and under and under. And I was sitting there just listening to that conversation. I don't know if he was drunk or not, but what he was saying was like, do you know what? Actually, it makes quite a lot of sense, even though I didn't really understand what he was saying.
Yeah, he's not wrong. He's not wrong.
Yeah,
he really isn't. Now what we got to do is wake these rest of these fucking idiots up, because I see right now what they're talking about is, oh, look, we can vote for the other side and then that'll change shit. No, it won't. Okay? Just like I've said before, there's a reason that Tom never kills Jerry in the cartoons, man, because if he does, the fucking show's over, right?
Yeah.
This is why they never fix any goddamn thing. It's just a steady left, right, left, right, left, right off of a goddamn cliff. And you
But this is the English people saying it now.
Well, I mean, if these dumb fuckers think that they're going to go out there and vote their way out of this bullshit, fuck you. You're dumber than hell. There ain't no way you're going to vote your way out of this. The left hand and the right hand both working to strangle your fucking ass. That's all there is. There ain't no left and right. The reality is it's us against them. Okay? And the sooner people fucking realize that and stop trying to get at each other by, oh, we're going to have our guy rule over you. No, we're going to have our guy rule over you. Fuck all that dumb shit, man. I don't want nobody ruling over me. Lesser of two evils. Fuck that. It's still evil. That's just
right. So, question for you: who next?
What's that?
For you, I don't really know what I'm saying, but for you, who next?
What do you mean, who next?
Well, if it's not Trump, who's it going to be?
What, Trump? I don't care. I'm not subscribing. I'm not participating. Here's the thing, man. Okay. There's a lot of people out there right now going, I didn't vote for this shit. Yeah, that's the neat part. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. If you voted for this shit. I don't care who you picked. If you voted for this shit. You consented for it. Okay. You consented to it by casting your fucking ballot. Okay. So yeah, this is what you voted for. I, on the other hand, I didn't want any of this dumb shit. So I didn't participate. I'm not going to participate. And that's what everybody ought to do. What are they going to do?
Same here. I haven't, but I've never. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. I was just going to say I've never voted. And yeah, you're right. If you can't see the writing on the wall and the consistency from, each every 4 years, I mean, it's just appeasing to both sides of people's mentality, good and evil, up and down, black and white, red and blue. I mean, it's and then the flag is the only thing that makes people feel like they owe allegiance to this corporate technocracy. I mean, it is what it is. But every 4 years, it doesn't
yeah, man,
change. It only changes that false dichotomy, right?
So this small hat girlfriend of Kash Patel's, right? She gonna sue people for and here's the thing, she's suing Elijah Schaffer, and he didn't even say anything. He just posted a picture of those two together, right? Then when they found out that she was trying to sue for suggesting she was part of a honeypot operation or whatever, people started posting pictures of her wearing a bumblebee suit and Winnie the Pooh fucking shit and everything. She's gonna have to sue the entire internet. So this was reposted by Candace Owens. She reposted this today, and she's like got all these laughing emojis. She said, "See, now the whole internet is going to have to get sued. Pam Bondi will be notified expeditiously, and here's why. You're gonna love this."
Honey, 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 honey. Honey, 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 honey. Honey, 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 honey. Honey, honey. Honey, 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 honey. Alexis is my honey, she been assigned to me. The sweetest little honey pot I fill with hot curry. I'm true Hindu with crossed eyes, I'm compromised. Are you surprised she's attracted to this 40-something skinny apoo? Are you? Alexis is my honey, she sings them country tunes. They groomed her good at PragerU, and now she shills for Jews. Watch how the kikes unite with Pajeets and dox you for tweeting our honey pot schemes. Alexis is my honey, and so's the chosen race. And if you call her honey pot, we're going to sue your face. We made up a patsy for Charlie Kirk, it hardly worked, we're retarded jerks. The Epstein files are gone, how odd, it doesn't matter that he is Mossad. Alexis is my honey, and I'm her Vindaloo. The FBI's been honeyfied by Net and you know who. Now everything is honey, and I am what I eat, although it fills my tummy. I'm still a stinky jeet.
You'll get the cure for that, Saab.
Well, brings to it, isn't it?
You know, if you count how many times he says honey, I bet you it comes out to 33 or 42.
Probably. Most likely, man. This is some wild shit.
Kind of feeling that jam, man. I'm going to have to go back and rewatch and learn the words, right?
Right? Let me see, where was that at? I'll find it and I'll put the link in here.
We're still getting a little squeak in here. So who is
Yeah, I
that?
don't know.
It might be me. Let me.
Hang on. It's gone now.
Yeah.
So anyway, here's the more about that meeting. That's a big deal, man. That's a big deal. You might, even though now look, this is what I said. The start of this show is that it's a 3-ring circus. Okay, rings 1, 2, and 3 is the legislative, executive, and fucking judicial branches. Okay, there's your 3 rings. And they're constantly fucking keeping you entertained with this back and forth fucking game that they play continuously. Out of the Congress, into the courts, onto the president, back to the Congress, into the courts. The shit's just a fucking mess. And everybody keeps going, oh, well, if we vote a little harder, this shit'll work. We can get it. I want to get a guy that, and this is the thing. It don't matter. We've been in periods of times recently where the Democrats were in the majority control of both the House and Senate, fucking White House. Did anything good happen? No, not a fucking thing. And likewise, we've had it the other way where we've had completely controlled Republican government. And it didn't come out worth a fuck neither. So what the hell are you people out there voting for, really? What is it that you're hoping is going to miraculously happen? I don't understand this, man.
Exactly. You get exactly what you were not ever promised. Everybody's going to promise you great change, and the guy who's going to replace Trump will come out of the blue as our great hero to vote for, and he'll do the exact same thing, be a puppet.
It's like over here, Keir Starmer. He promised everything. He's an absolute waste of space. Who next? They're going to say the same shit.
Yep, they're talking about throwing his ass out, and wasn't he the majority pick? So, it looks like, they're not putting up anybody worth a fuck. Everybody's a turd, and they just try to polish one up better than the other.
Yeah.
Listen, voting left or right, that's trying to figure out which is the clean end of a turd to pick up. Okay, that's what that is.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, and you remember the guy, Bree? Hey, Bree, I'm Russell. I don't know you, man, but when you asked earlier the question, hey, who next? If not Trump, who next? I say that if we let these motherfuckers make it to 2030, we're not going to have much of a next to choose from. Like, man, we've got a good 4 years to get our shit together and be coordinated to where we don't need to vote, and we can. I put it this way. I say this may be the wrong words, but I say, create our own nation. Might not be the right wording, but we don't need to use their laws to choose our direction. That's what I would say. I would say let's not choose a next. Let's just create our own power supply.
It's not just going to carry on his work.
Listen,
I have a more viable alternative. If in the last round, when there was a presidential debate, there were at least 5 or 6 independents that didn't make the TV camera.
Okay.
But if you have people with a lot of money, and everybody's willing to fund an independent to the point where they will make it to that debate, so that there's actually 3 or 4 podiums instead of just 2 for the presidential debate.
Well, I'll tell you what they're gonna do. This is the strategy I would take right now, regardless of what side of the aisle I stood on. If I was one of these guys running, I will not accept any money from APEC or a foreign lobby. That right there is going to resonate well, especially with the way people are thinking right now. Okay. This is why that guy in New York got in. Okay. They asked all these fucking clowns what they would do first thing if they were mayor. And all of them said they'd go to Israel. The guy that won, he said, well, my job's here in New York. I'd spend my time, talking to New Yorkers. And, I can talk to Jews here in New York.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
I know you're all obviously I'm English. I'm from England. What is all your guys' situation on the situation in United Kingdom with Keir Starmer, etc., etc.?
Oh yeah, you guys are fucked too, man. This whole
Shit.
house of cards is coming down. You realize that the United States never really broke away from England, right?
Yeah.
That was a facade, the great experiment. In fact, if you look at the American flag, it's just a rebranding of the East India Trading Company flag.
Yeah.
The East India Trading Company became the Virginia Company, became the United States Inc. Registered in London, England on July the 2nd, 1776, 2 days before we even declared independence from England. Smell a rat? Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't take any time at all that this genuine homegrown rebellious spirit amongst the Americans, the colonists, was quickly taken over and co-opted by elite Masons right away, man.
But for me, is it not like the Earth or flat Earth, whatever you want to call it? We're all on the same place right now. It's all going the same way. Is that right or wrong?
Yeah. Well, the thing is you got to put your faith in God. Don't put your faith in governments. Don't put your faith in men. Okay, you got to put your faith in God. God always provides, and He's never going to give you more than what you can handle. Now, you can turn it into more than what you can handle, depending on how you react to it. But if you are reacting from a place of pathos, in other words, a place of emotion, without running it through the logic filter, that's going to get you in trouble. Think about it. You always end up doing something fucked up when you're really pissed off, don't you? Because you don't think. That's the thing. People got to learn how to balance that out. Listen, I live on a continent that they call America, within a nation they call the United States, inside of a country that they call Virginia. Okay. I have an affinity for my people, but I have an affinity for all people, all kind-natured people across the earth. I have an affinity for those people. However, that does not equate to the idea that I am down for the bullshit that my government does. I love my country, but I fear my government. Okay? Them telling you that these people all around here, this group and that group and all these other groups are a threat to your freedom, bullshit. The biggest threat to your freedom are the ones telling you who the fuck is a threat to your freedom. Believe that. Believe that.
Right. Where are we going, do you think?
I think we're coming to the end, my friend. I think we are coming to the end. Better yet, I think we're coming to the beginning. A lot of people like to say the end is near. I like to say the beginning is near. Okay. And all you got to do is just stay true to your path. Just stay true to your path. Use your moral compass as best as you can. You know when you're fucking up. And you're not ever not watched, okay? Everything you do is being watched, okay? And I'm not talking about my big brother or anything. I'm talking about Big Daddy. And you can call it the Akashic Record, whatever you want to. Everything is in that web. So there's no getting around that. And you just got to try to be, you shouldn't have to really try. But it becomes a trial, and that's because of the nature of man. It's hard for us to separate the spirit and the ego. It's very hard to separate those two things, and you have to learn to keep those things in balance. Am I becoming of the world, or am I just in the world? You see, it's like all I really require is that which I need. I don't require excess. Although sometimes excess is nice, but that also starts to breed into the materialistic mindset. You know, as long as I have everything I need, I have a shelter, I have food, I have family, I have friends. You know, I mean, that's what it's about right there. Not about who has the most toys, who's got the fastest car, how many boats I got, how much of these fucking fake pieces of paper I got stuck up in a bank someplace. It ain't about none of that, man. And you realize that. I don't know if anybody here has ever used DMT or not, but that's one of the things you realize in that trip is you're like, what a fucking joke that shit is. Am I really taking it that serious? That's crazy. You know, and some of the entities that are there will laugh along with you about it. That's what's so funny. But that's a whole other show.
If I wanted a Learjet, would that be materialistic?
Yeah. Why do you need a Learjet?
Oh man, I can get places much faster.
How? Can you afford gas? Can you afford gas for a Learjet? Can you afford a pilot? Can you afford, all the shit that goes along with it? What about the tax they put on it every year? So there's a lot that goes with it. Yeah, you could have a Learjet, I guess, but you wouldn't really be able to use it. It's not something practical. And how does that benefit others? It only benefits you and what you want, you see. See, the thing is this, is that you can want all kinds of shit, but you only really need a whole lot less, right? So you can, that's the whole thing. So if you run things through that filter, hey, I think that's cool. I really want that. But do I need it? You see?
No.
When you're using things, material objects, and that can go with a woman as well, or a man, that you're looking externally for happiness. And pretty soon what happens, that which you feel makes you happy loses its lackluster. It loses it. And it stops being new. It stops being shiny. It's old hat, and you find out that you still have that hole. So a lot of people, they go, oh, I know how to fill that hole. I'll get a new boat, or I'll get this, or I'll get a new car, or this, that, and the other. It's not about that. You have to be happy in order for happy shit to happen to you. That's how it works. You'll draw what you put out. And let me tell you something. If you're one of these people who puts out there all the time in your thoughts that you're worried that you don't have enough money, or you're worried that you're not going to have enough money, you know what's going to happen? You're not going to have enough money. If you go into life with the attitude of I always have what I need, and believe it, I always have what I need. Now I might not necessarily have what I want, but there it is.
Well said. Well said. And Roger,
very well said.
You'll get to where you need to go a whole lot quicker if you jump out of the Learjet. You'll end up there quicker.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. But will I survive the jump? That's the question.
Because of gravity.
Gravity.
I'll tell you what, I'm getting punchy from fucking with some of these people on Facebook today. I swear to God, it's some of the dumbest goddamn people. They don't have the ability to think. They can't extrapolate anything. When you're trying to explain to them relative density disequilibrium, they can't get it. They just, why doesn't it go up? Because it's going toward the area of the most density of the median, and it's never going to achieve it. It's going to be stopped by the ground. Well, what do you mean? Well, if you drop a piece of wood, 2x4, right? You got a 2x4 block, and you drop it off the saw bench, it lands on the floor, right? Yeah, okay. So if you drop it into a bucket, what happens? Well, it floats. Well, God damn it, if the floor was pulling it down, wouldn't it be down there on the floor of the bucket? What's going on there? All you did was change the fluid medium. And if you can keep in your mind that there is never an instance where a physical object is not subject to a fluid medium, you got it beat right there, because you're always in something. You're always in some kind of a fluid medium, whether it be a gas or a liquid. So if you think about that, when you go to the lake and the earth drops off well beneath you as you remain on the surface and swim, you're essentially flying because you're in a new medium. The ground is 15, 20 feet or more below you. You didn't get pulled to the earth. You're now flying through the medium. And you try to go deeper, and the same thing's going to happen as if you try to get going higher here in the gas medium. You're not going to be able to do it. The equilibrium won't allow it. It'll crush in one way, explode in the other way. It's just
it makes me think of the way you just explained that. So it makes me think of how when people mention light and how it travels, right? They'll mention, as you just mentioned, I'll land a plane quickly, but what they say is that light travels through air, but it's really energy propagating across a medium, right? That's a better way to think about it. I would think from point A to point B, it's not light traveling across the medium, it's energy propagating through the medium. Is that
and the byproduct?
Does that sound about right to y'all?
Yeah, I'm kind of long. The speed of light thing, I think, is horseshit.
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what medium is light traveling through space exactly?
What is it they call it? 500? Is it 500 or have I got that
Space is
wrong?
the medium.
No, it's
How
not
can
500.
what is space comprised of? Though?
Yeah, they don't know.
Right. It's like electric densities. It's an electric.
Yeah, but
it's
it's
I call it a
still
plasma
there's
gradient.
still, even think about this. There's still a medium. Top physicists I know, at least in the 80s, estimated there to be 1 atom of hydrogen per cubic meter in space. So what's that mean? That means that there is a medium. It's just a very, very, very thin medium, right? It'd be like one of them deep water fish that look all scary and they got their own light. If you try to pull them up from the bottom there, once you get to a certain depth, it'll kill them. It'll kill them.
Yeah.
To them,
The question is
that
how
may as
far
well be a vacuum. To them, to their environment, that may as well be a vacuum. It's just a very low pressure system compared to what they're used to.
Yeah. So the question is, how big is space? How far does it go?
It's fake and gay. There's no such thing.
So basically,
I don't think it's a matter of being big, Roger. I think it's a matter of, I think space is some kind of closed loop system.
Now we're in
I look at
And
space
it just
as
turns
the
in on itself at some point.
I look at
That's
space.
just me.
Space is the emptiness between physical objects.
There you go.
And it's really not fucking empty because there's a medium in there. It's never nothing. There's never nothing. There's always something. That's the whole thing. There's never no thing. There's never not a medium. There's never not everything that has physicality, like what we call matter or solids and shit like that. It's residing within a fluid medium. We'd have totally different. We'd have different.
It's like my dad used to say: you go to space, and what you're going to do? Keep going until you hit a brick wall. Well, obviously not.
How do you go anywhere?
Well,
how would you get there?
You're not going to hit a brick wall, are you?
Rocket won't work in a vacuum. It needs a medium to push it.
Well,
I'm not on about the
problem
problem.
is how do you create containment or a medium without containment? How do you do that?
You can't.
Right.
Fluids require containers.
Yeah, gases and liquids both. Yeah. So everything.
Yeah, that's why I think their whole talk about space being a vacuum and all that. It's just obviously illogical. So I think there's always some type of substrate out there. I don't think it's ever turns into nothingness or no kind of material. Some kind of
not getting out of here. The ceiling will not allow you to go. Okay,
Right.
now we assume that it's transparent. We assume that the ceiling is transparent. Okay, but that transparency can be an illusion. Have you ever been in a planetarium? It looks like you're looking at the night sky. The ceiling,
right. I see your point.
Transparent, doesn't it? Right. So the illusion of that depth is brought on by the fact that there's some of the stars are bigger and brighter than some of the other stars. You can recreate that same effect on a flat wall by putting different lights or even glow in the dark paint. It will give it the illusion of depth, but there is no depth. Okay, now am I saying this is what's going on? No, I'm just saying we could be just looking at the ceiling. Okay, we might not be able to see beyond that. Now in the Bible it says like a molten looking glass. Now it doesn't mean hot. It means like a mirror, which is what a looking glass is. Molten means in a fluidic form, like water or mercury or air, right? But we know that it is impossible to have gas pressure without full containment. There has to be full containment.
Yeah.
So
I was just talking about that.
Is actually
I was just mentioning earlier these mercury arc rectifiers and the way they look. It's almost as if you can't see the mercury pool in the bottom because it just kind of merges in with the glass, and the glass just kind of reflects the mercury. So it almost looks translucent, like you're saying. So,
right, but the glass itself is solid, right, RG?
I would go
No.
with
No.
I'd actually try to go with what they're basically telling you through their must tell some sort of truth. Disney, if you ever take a look at how I forget what the little chick is called, Tinkerbell. When Tinkerbell makes you the dome over the castle, it's a double dome. Most video games you play have double security shields. It's always like two. There's one right beside the other. So it might be like there's one dome that's like a mirror, and then the second dome that nothing actually gets through.
Well, we know that the hearsay evidence that they present to us is nonsense. So we have to go with that. And Roger, no, glass is not really a solid. It's actually known as a super cool liquid.
Yeah.
And this is why, if you've ever had an old house or been in an old house, the windows will kind of rattle, right?
Yeah.
They'll rattle it up at the top of the paint. They rattle at the top of the paint. And if you ever break one and you got to get it out, hell, the other pieces up top come out real easy. They fall out, right? But then getting the stuff down at the bottom, you got to give it some force to pull it up out of there. That's because over the years, that glass is actually running down. This is also gives it that wavy effect. Old glass will have that wavy effect to it. And the bottom of it, you can compare the pieces from the bottom to the pieces on the top, and they're about twice as thick.
So, but it's solid enough to bounce gas off of. It'll hold gas.
Oh yeah, it'll hold gas. It will. Yeah. There doesn't seem to be any porosity to it that I can find. So
yeah, over time though, the heat and the elements will liquefy the glass to some point. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
There's a big, huge amount of assumptions on what the sun actually even is. I know it's not a big burning ball of fucking hydrogen. That's impossible because what keeps feeding it. Don't try to give me these astronomical numbers about how it's so much that it would just keep no.
Trillions of years, it'll eventually die.
Let me tell you something. I've played around with hydrogen, and it doesn't burn like that. It blows up. Okay, I don't care how much you have of it. The more you have just means you're going to have a bigger fucking explosion. You're not going to have a sun. This is bullshit. You never notice it when they show you these solar flares. You can get out a solar filter in your telescope and shit and look at the fucking sun, and it doesn't look anything like what they show you on TV or on the videos and whatnot.
Yeah, well,
doesn't look anything like that, man.
Even NASA admits that CGI,
Yeah.
Yeah.
They give you glasses to look at it to make you think, don't they?
Maybe. But anyway, back to this thing. This is pretty big shit. You're going to see some stuff happen here. I don't know. I'll look on the current feed and see if they had this fucking meeting, in the Situation Room. I'd be interested to see what comes about from that. Anyway.
The Trump administration and President Trump appeared to be in something of a full court press to try and stop the discharge petition from working. Sources are telling CNN the top Trump administration officials held a meeting on this issue, not just at the White House, but in the Situation Room. Now, according to multiple sources, the meeting was said to have included the Attorney General, Pam Bondi, the Deputy Attorney General, Todd Blanche, FBI Director Kash Patel, and Republican Congresswoman Lauren Boebert of Colorado. Boebert is one of the 4 Republican members of the House who has signed the petition. Now, the Trump administration.
Dude, this could be, I want to know what the fuck they done about it. I really do. Because there's a lot of shit involved with this. People are waking up. People are pissed. Is that the one? Wait a second. No, is this one up here? This guy. He reminds me of Dale on King of the Hill, kind of. This guy.
Gotta love Dale.
He's usually, but he don't really talk like him. It's just because of the sunglasses and the hat. But listen to this shit.
In Trump's first term, somebody said that only Donald Trump could separate his supporters from him. No amount of fake news will do it. And Trump's out there just fucking proving them right. down 45 fucking points, collapsing in the polls everywhere. Down 45 points with people under 30. And you wonder why? They're all like, we can't afford a house. So what does he come out with? A 50-year fucking mortgage? Are you fucking kidding me, dude? Like, of course they all gave you the finger. A 50-year mortgage, that's fucking lifetime of debt. Nobody fucking needs that. That ain't a fucking deal. That's a fucking scam job that's only gonna enrich the banks further and your buddies in their little fucking tiny hats. Jesus fucking Christ. Then he goes on Laura Ingraham and just burns this motherfucker down. Oh, now we need to import more workers and more students, and it's like, what are you doing, dude? In Trump's first term, he was like, we're gonna kick out these 600,000 Chinese students, and he got blocked by it. Now he's saying we need more? Laura Ingraham, the voice of reason, is like, why in the fuck would you do that? Why would you bring in more students? And Trump says, well, if we don't bring in more students, these liberal universities, they're gonna collapse and go out of business. And Laura Ingram's like, so? Why would that be a bad thing? And I'm like, yeah, dude. How in the fuck is Laura Ingraham the voice of reason on this? Trump, where in the fuck is your head, dude? Fuck these liberal indoctrination camps. They are debt machines and liberal indoctrination shitholes. Close them up. Put them out of business. All the young people would be better off. No wonder they're giving you the finger, dude. Trump, if you don't come back to the people where this all started, we're all fucked. These liberals are gonna win in fucking 26. They're gonna win in 28 if Donald Trump does not come back to the American people and start just burning this shit to the ground. Trump, you need to drop the Epstein files. And hey, fuck, he did that shit again today too. Called Epstein a hoax. It's not a hoax, dude. It's not a hoax. If Trump doesn't do something drastic here to come back to the people, probably fire Cash App Patel, fire Pam Bondi, drop the Epstein files, burn the whole fucking thing to the ground, dude. If billionaires go to jail and the economy has a big fucking collapse because, I don't know, a bunch of millionaires and wealthy people get arrested, everyone will cheer. No one will care, dude. No one will care. You got gas down. Great. Well, guess what, dude? Your tech billionaire buddies that are building all the data centers have sent our electricity bills through the fucking roof. Yep. What are you doing about that? Fuck all and nothing. Everything is too expensive. Everything. It's a fucking joke, dude, and most of it's from corporate price gouging. We gotta have a full fucking turnaround and back to America first, or these fucking liberals are gonna shove communist socialism right down our throats in 26 and 30, and we're gonna end up like fucking Canada. We're gonna end up like Canada. You think it's bad when they're like, oh, we're gonna transition your fucking kids without your permission. Up in Canada, they're fucking straight up medical assisted suicide. That's what they're doing up there. Like they've said, fucking, oh, you don't like fucking us cutting your kids' dicks off? Watch this shit. We're gonna go full fucking Nazi on you. It's just unreal, dude. You do not want to be Canada. Trump, if anybody's gonna fucking turn around and come back to the people with public opinion, it's you, buddy. You better fucking do it. I don't know what the fuck has happened to you, but the polls are showing it, and they ain't fucking fake, man. They ain't fucking fake. Watch social media. Everybody's fucking pissed because you hung the American people out to dry here. You ain't giving a shit, dude.
Jewish asshole.
You ain't giving a shit, and we need you. We put our faith in you. Do not fucking let us down. Turn this fucker around, or we are all fucked. Good luck to you all.
Well, didn't he just scratch Trump's belly with a little bit of money?
Look, man, peaceful non-compliance, man. It's that simple. It's that simple. They need us. If we don't play the game goes away. All we got to do is stand up. They're playing this shit on our backs, man. But people got to realize it ain't about left and right. It ain't about right. Donkeys and fucking elephants and everything else. There ain't nothing about that. It's just a big game to keep you involved. That's all it is, man. They just want to keep you fucking involved. And
yeah, they do need us for sure. Go ahead, Roger. I'll go after you. Go ahead.
I wasn't talking. I was trying to say something. I think. All I said was that all he had to do was scratch the Trump's belly, and he rolled over like a puppy dog.
Oh my God! Listen.
Yeah. Well, the guy that sat on a golden toilet and shit for most of his life. Yeah, he's all about the money. I heard a piece here that he was talking about, home ownership and a couple other things about, these big price, increases with these power companies and stuff like that. Well, I'd heard earlier, I got a buddy I watch, I ain't gonna name drop, but what he was saying about like big companies like BlackRock that go in and they buy up these, kind of like Monopoly. They go in and buy up these huge people who are going under, like banks or like where I live, it's called Georgia Power. It's the big power company statewide. Well, they'll go in and buy up on a state level, these types of things. And instead of them, paying cash and like buying things, what they'll do is they put part cash down, but then they use debt, or regular debt notes, and purchase the other half or 3/4 of the company, right? And I'm trying to get to the point quick, but what they're saying is, even just like the housing markets, what happens is the part that they buy up with debt notes, they make the company, whatever the company's name is, they put that debt under the company name, and instead of BlackRock paying outright for it, they make the rate payers, which is us, pay the debt, so then they can own it by only paying half price for it. So it's shit like that there's tricks for these billionaires to do that end up with ownership not in our hands, not even a portion, like the stakeholders, right? We don't get that type of benefit, and it's showing. I mean, it really is. They're taking.
Let me show you what they did, Archie.
Everything, and then buying it up in debt.
Let me show you what they did back
that we turn around and pay for with interest.
God damn it. Let me show you what they did back in 1936 regarding that exact same thing. You're gonna like this. All right, it says this haunting photograph from 1936 captures a penny auction at a foreclosed farm in Michigan. One of the most defiant and ingenious acts of resistance to emerge during the Great Depression. When banks repossessed farms after families fell behind on their mortgages, local communities often took justice into their own hands. Farmers would arrive by the dozen, sometimes hundreds, and agree beforehand to bid only pennies for each item, from livestock to land, ensuring the auction brought in virtually nothing. The winning bidder, usually a trusted neighbor, would then return the property to the original family, allowing them to remain on their land. It was quiet rebellion cloaked in community solidarity, a desperate yet brilliant strategy for survival. In the background of the photo, nooses hang from the barn rafters, not as decoration, but as warning. They were meant for squirrely bidders, outsiders, or opportunists tempted to defy the pact and bid high. These were not empty threats. In those lean years, loyalty was sacred, and betrayal could mean ruin for everyone. Penny auctions became a powerful symbol of the rural unity and defiance. They weren't just about saving one farm, they were about preserving dignity, family, and a way of life slipping away under economic despair. By 1933, more than 200,000 farms had been foreclosed across the Midwest, sparking organized movements like the Farmers Holiday Association, which fought to halt foreclosures entirely. In that frozen Michigan winter, a few cents and a shared promise were sometimes all that stood between a family and the loss of everything they'd ever built. Isn't that cool? That's the kind of shit.
Cool.
Right there. That's the kind of shit.
I would love a community like that. Not sure about you boys.
Yeah. Well, so many people are programmed to be in it. Dog eat dog. Step on whoever you have to get ahead, because they act like it's some kind of a competition. They do. They really do. They got this idea of what success is, but it's not their idea at all. It's some fucking idea that a magazine or a movie or some shit gave to them. They don't. What is success? How do you gauge it?
You can't.
I think John Lennon said it the best when he was a kid, man. They was asking all the kids what they wanted to be when they grew up, and kids are going, I want to be a policeman. I want to be a fireman. They asked John, they said, what do you want to be when you grow up? He says, I want to be happy. What? Exactly, bro.
Nice.
Exactly.
Nice.
Yeah, so don't they gear you up for that competitive stuff from day one in public schools? Cheerleading rallies. It's all about a competition.
And it's definitely an illusion because all these little schools that are competing against each other. You got one over here is the Cobras. The other one over here is they call themselves the Tigers, and this one over here call themselves the Badgers or whatever the fuck, right? But what these kids don't realize, they're all told that their school is the very best one, that their students are the smartest in the whole district and everything else like that. Each one of the kids in each one of these schools believes that fucking nonsense too. Okay? What they don't realize,
they're all being brought up in the same system, aren't they?
right? And what they don't realize is the only reason that you're with the Badgers or with the Cobras or with whatever is merely by volition of where your parents decided to buy a fucking house. That's it. You see? And so this foments this tribalism that we're in. Now, another form that they do psychologically on you is by referring to ethnicities as a race. Now, outside of the context in that context of ethnicity, what is a race? It's a competition, right? So automatically seeded into your subconscious is that you're in competition with people of different ethnicities as you. That's already seeded right in your subconscious.
Who's the best at bringing up the best crap?
Right.
So between all races, is there any really biological difference between any of mankind other than language and culture?
A little bit. I mean, they can tell the ethnicity of a skeleton based on certain features. For instance, did you ever really wonder why there's more blacks in sports than there are whites? It's real simple. One of the biggest reasons, especially in basketball, is because a black man's foot, the heel actually sticks out more than on a white man.
They got more relief.
It gives them a longer Achilles tendon, which allows for a higher jump. Now, there's nothing racist about what I just said. That's just a physiological difference between races. Okay, we've there's a lot of different things like that. They can tell an Oriental skull from a Caucasian skull, from a Negro skull, from so there are physiological differences, but it doesn't mean that we're incompatible, right? So for instance, we have different breeds of dogs. You got German Shepherds and Golden Labs and what have you, right? And the German Shepherd, although it's one type of a breed of dog, and the Golden Lab is another breed of dog, those dogs are compatible and can create a combination of the two quite easily, really. And the thing is that they want to seed this to you. Well, how come they're always talking about these people, that people? They want to get it into the race and everything. When you see obvious nepotism, where 6% of the world's population is in charge and 95% of the control system, that's probably concern for cause, or cause for concern. My bad. But in all reality, you got to think about it this way: you're no better than anybody else based on your ethnicity. You're not any better than anybody else. You are an infinite. You are an example of the infinite possibilities. That's what you are. And you could have been born anyone. Here's the real kicker, man. You were. You could have just been these people standing there shaking their fists in the air, talking about white pride and this, that, and the other, right? Dude, you could have been born black, Chinese, Indian, whatever, or he could have been aborted. Who knows? In this world that we live in. But for you to claim that you have pride over that, well, that's false pride. You didn't have anything to do with it. You didn't have a goddamn thing to do with it. Taking pride in the achievements of people who happen to be the same ethnicity of you, that's false pride as well. You didn't have anything to fucking do with it. You want to go on about the Renaissance structures and that white people built that? Well, go ahead and build one. Let's see you. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you. But my first point was overall, like as a species, the human species are pretty much the same except for the language and the culture. So there's no greater race of humans,
No,
particular. Yeah.
no, there's no chosen race of humans either. It's just the reality of that. That's ridiculous. Let me see here.
One of you asked, what would be what would be the best description or recipe for success? I guess I had thought about it for a second, but I guess in my opinion would be how we choose to commune together, like in what we're like as communities, and at a certain point, how big is how big is too big when you start seeing regression in successful type of things, not just being money earning or something like that, but like at what point do people do good together before it starts to be overbearing, I guess you could say.
Success is being happy.
Yeah.
That's success.
What's
You're
that?
here. That's what you're here for. It's being happy. That's what you're here for. Being grateful for that which you do have. So many people want to focus on everything that they don't fucking have. They not realizing that they really have everything they need plus some extra. They don't take into account the physical things that they do have, but also the idea that you have food, you have shelter, you have the ability to think with an open mind and not be trapped into some kind of a paradigm that was created for you. Don't let somebody else tell you, well, success, hell, that's 2 cars, a picket fence, and a lawn that's manicured like a fucking golf course, and da 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 da. No, that's somebody on Madison Avenue come up with that. Let that motherfucker go live like that. Okay.
Yeah, it seemed like real success was like these smaller communities would find a good water source, river or whatever, and live close enough to that and fertile soil that, made the seasons, benefits of water or whatever, and what seeds you had to feed your people. And then once you were full or healthy,
perhaps they were given this knowledge. Instead of having to do it on trial and error, they were maybe given this knowledge. There's evidence of that within the Book of Enoch, of course. 2 and 3 are forgeries, so the Book of Enoch 1 is the one.
I think that seems to be pretty good description, I guess, of success. Is being healthy and keeping your communities well off enough to be happy. Like you say.
Yep, and don't be afraid. This is the thing. A lot of people don't bring this up. Did you know that the Bible, the King James Bible, has the phrase "Do not be afraid" 365 times? That's once for each day.
I didn't know that, but I do now.
So that's once for each day. Okay. And what is fear? What is fear? Fear is the opposite of love. Fear is in the spectrum of anger. Anger is derived of fear. So you want to resonate in love. That's where you want to resonate.
Yeah.
Hard. That's the struggle. That's our struggle. What's the sin? The sin is going against that. Being of the world, not just in the world. Sacrificing or thinking that you're going to get away with something that that puts someone else in a predicament or whatever else merely because you want it. That's not right. You have to always look at what your actions are and how do they affect other people, especially those around me. Oh, what they don't know won't hurt them. Bullshit, because it will be known. So stop.
Yeah,
an interesting note. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
An interesting note, like John said in the Bible, like he who fears has not been perfected in love, right? But guess who had to be reminded not to fear in Revelation? John.
Yeah.
It kind of shows even the disciples were still going through a perfecting process.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we're not perfect. We're not perfect, but when we recognize it, brings us closer to the divine. When we recognize that is what brings you closer to God. It ain't got nothing to do with polishing a fucking wooden seat inside of a building while some guy gets up there and yammers on about fucking Israel. No, man. That ain't where it's at. Now you're trying to adopt somebody else's relationship with God, and that motherfucker don't even have a relationship with God. He's got a relationship with a bank account. That's it.
Speaking of that, Jaren's over on Allen's right now asking for super chats.
On who? On Alan? Who's Alan?
Allen, he's space audit since Shane. And
Oh,
Allen,
okay.
yeah, they're over there trying to show him how the theodolite matches the flat Earth more than it does the globe, and he's over there. That's all. He's only there for publicity, man. I wish he'd just leave the community alone. Just go play with the globies. Leave us be. Just go have fun.
Well, see, that's the only time he gets views is when he's fucking with flat earthers now.
Yeah,
that's the only time. Same thing with Craig. Same thing with Toon. The only time they actually get some views is when they're fucking with a flat earther. But with everybody boycotting them and shit, it's just not panning out the way it used to. You see? I mean, how many times do we have to go on there and say the same fucking shit over and over and over and over and over? They never have nothing new. They never have any reconciliations for the physical impossibilities. Nothing. You know, the best that fucking retard booger picker could do is tell me there was a picture of gravity behind me.
That one. But Jaren himself also said that rocks are the cause of waterfalls.
Oh my word.
Water boils due to the container it's in. You could put it
What
in
a nut.
yeah. Well, he's not really scientific, and science doesn't prove anything in his world. So, yeah.
Well, when they did that behind
Is that who's over there arguing with go ahead.
Yeah, they're talking to Jaren right now. Yeah, they're doing a recap of all
Jaren. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
When they were
oh
doing
man,
that,
did I tell you guys?
when they did the behind
Did Dave Weiss send me a message? I don't even talk to the dude, but he sent me a message, right? Because on my I know this is off subject, but I just wanted to put this out there. If anybody wants to read it, it's kind of a weird. It's the day that Vika was speaking with JJ and Vlad, and Dave Weiss come on like yelling at him, "Oh, fuck you, man, fuck you, fuck all y'all," and it was just really going at it. Y'all remember that day? Well, I guess because I spoke up, like my email is on my Truth Connects icon.
Wow,
but anyway,
spit it out, bro.
I sent a message saying that we were all full of. Go ahead.
I said, spit it out, man.
Get it out, RG. Come on.
No, I'm saying that I don't know word for word. I'd have to send it here in the back chat. But what it basically was saying is that we're all full of shit. None of us listen, and that we take his words and twist them, and that Austin knew, or it was the first time Austin heard from anybody that for the last 8 months we were asking for his tickets, but he was basically taking up for Austin, saying once again, trying to take up and for Austin, but saying that was the first time Austin ever heard that we wanted to see his tickets. Y'all believe that shit? Because I don't. But
no, not for a minute.
Yeah, I don't believe that shit once. And I'm thinking, well, Dave, if you knew we've been asking for him for almost a year,
well,
it's like why didn't you tell Austin then? Hey,
I'll tell you what,
Vlad's
been looking for him. Vlad's been wanting to see him, and me myself, I don't give a fuck. I already know what happened right there, man. They just fucking lied. It wasn't real, so I don't need to go into it any further. I don't even need to go into it any further, man. Not even.
Yeah.
So I don't give a fuck if you got tickets or don't have tickets. You motherfuckers lied, so shut up. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
That's
how it seems to me that he's just still. Go ahead.
I just said they made a production. That's what they did. They went down there and produced a hit piece on flat Earth. That's all they were doing to begin with. That's the
well, look at when they did Behind the Curve, Roger.
Yeah.
They showed Jaren out there with a goddamn steak knife from the Dollar General, cutting fucking holes in cardboard and shit. I'm like, are you really? That's what you know.
Yeah, and he's going to be the one representing us down there.
Yeah.
Hyper Pacific when you're looking for a measurement. Yeah, get the steak knife and the flashlight. That'll work.
Yeah. Do it in the
And a piece
dark.
of
Make sure you
cardboard.
do all this last minute in the middle of the dark. Don't bother setting a stencil down and making the two things identical so that you could actually take a razor knife and cut a nice hole in it and that kind of shit. No, fuck no. We're just gonna do it with haphazard jabbing at it with a fucking steak knife in the dark. I just went click.
That's more interesting, so it's really interesting, as somebody once said. Interesting.
Yeah. Well,
And
here
that's
we are.
as if they didn't know that over link that the laser's going to spread out. Like, yeah, it's hitting both holes. It's
RG, they
you know.
didn't use a laser. Their laser burned up. They used flashlights, dude. They didn't use the laser.
Did they really?
Yeah, it's crap.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
God
because
damn.
the laser overheated, it burnt the cooling ring up, and we can't get another one now, but we're going to go ahead and film this crappy film right quick anyway.
Oh man, that's retarded.
It is. It really is. Like, why would you not use a laser?
They were
No, I
planning
did
on
not
originally
see that,
using-
Shane. I did not see that at all. I have to go check it out. It's Flat Out Observer. Okay.
We have laser tests to go further than that anyway, RG. I promise you.
There was something Cubby sent me earlier. I almost forgot about it. I'll have to go over here and find it. There, oh there. Oh, that's
Damn.
right here.
If they use flashlight, then they would have had to at least like half the distance or more, because laser is going to be fairly pinpoint. And then even if it's a high powered flashlight, you're going to have to come a whole lot closer. So yeah, that just tells me they did that shit on purpose, like purposefully tried to fool people.
I see where Sean Hawkins tried to do a video here a little while ago. He got 45 views. He's getting there.
And then even if they had used a laser, right? Like, I mean, why would they choose one of the most humid lakes where the moisture in the air can obstruct the light?
You'd be crazy not to. You can get it right now. This is a
I don't even remember. I don't know enough about around the curve or behind the curve. Did they do it during the summer, or was it more in the winter months to where the refraction wouldn't be so bad?
Oh, I would have
You're
to look.
muted up, so. Yep, still can't hear you, buddy. Sav, can't hear you.
Yeah, Sav, it sounds like you're muted.
I was.
Oh, there you go.
So here's the thing: is that once you see that shoddy ass fucking experiment, quote unquote, being set up, just turn the fucking thing off. It's done right there. It's obviously a hit piece. Nobody worth the salt is going to do that. Okay, that's it.
Right.
So it didn't even matter. They didn't have shit going on there. I don't know, man. I wanted to give them the benefit of the doubt and figure, maybe they cut shit and made it look a certain way and everything else like that. But then, I don't know, I started seeing how he was, man. And this is hopefully my history now.
Just do a quick cursory glance for that part of the video. All you get is like clips saying "Flat Earther proves himself wrong."
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Epstein, I guess, is confirmed as an Israeli spy through leaked documents, but this is what everybody's worried about. And here again, another news outlet. I think this is maybe MSNBC. This is George Stuff a Lot in his ass.
Breaking news, the House Oversight Committee has just released new emails from convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Some are focused on President Trump. Jay O'Brien has the details. Good morning, Jay.
Yeah, George, good morning. These are records that the department, or rather the House Oversight Committee, subpoenaed from the Epstein estate. Reams, thousands of pages worth, released this morning by Democrats on that panel, several mentioning President Trump by name.
This morning, the bombshell release of what House Democrats say are emails to and from deceased convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, several referring to President Donald Trump by name. In an April 2011 email released by Democrats on the House Oversight Committee, lawmakers say Epstein wrote to his now convicted accomplice, Ghislaine Maxwell, 3 years after pleading guilty to sex crimes involving a minor, telling her, "I want you to realize that that dog that hasn't barked is Trump. Unnamed victims spent hours at my house with him. He has never once been mentioned. According to the released emails, Maxwell responds, I have been thinking about that. But this summer, in a recorded interview with the Department of Justice, Maxwell told Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche, the president's former lawyer, she never witnessed Trump act inappropriately.
I never witnessed the president in any inappropriate setting in any way. The president was never inappropriate with anybody. In the times that I was with him, he was a gentleman in all respects.
Shortly after that interview, Maxwell was moved to a minimum security prison camp, prompting criticism she received special treatment.
We just talked about that a minute ago. But yeah, see, just because you didn't see him doesn't mean that he didn't. Now, there's still that guy talking about that Epstein showed him Polaroid pictures of these underage girls sitting on Trump's lap and shit. I don't know, man. Let's see those. The FBI's got to have them. But then we've got cross-eyed Cash. Right? This guy. There it is. Yeah, he's a real problem. Real quick, Ken O'Keefe, not the guy from the undercover sting operations. This other guy. Let me show him real quick. He's pretty scathing right here. Listen to this.
I never thought I would see videos of babies be beheaded. He said that. And the whole media owned by the Jews parroted it. And Piers Morgan, you coward. You never had me on. What, you didn't get the memo? You don't want me on? Let me answer your question. Do I condemn Hamas? No. Respect. Respect. That's what a man does. No, I don't condemn Hamas. Furthermore, you all said they raped. You said they beheaded babies. The truth is, and now this is verified, even in Jewish media, not only did they not rape women, they put coverings on them because in Islam it's not proper to be showing your cleavage. With all due respect, sister, here is some clothes. We will take care of you. One of the hostages, a beautiful young Israeli, literally talked about how Hamas saved their lives. Literally, when they were getting bombed by the Hannibal Directive. The Hannibal Directive. That's the Jewish state's policy of wiping, erasing their own chosen ones because they're politically a liability. And in the Hannibal Directive, Hamas defended these young women and saved their lives and gave them food when the rest of Gaza is starving. Hamas did that. Hamas did that, I say, love and respect. Not only did they not rape, they did what God would command, as a proper Muslim does. And your 40 beheaded babies lie. Lie. You all, the media, all of you, you're guilty of war crimes. According to the Fort Geneva Convention, war propaganda is a war crime. Did you not know there was no evidence backing these accusations? You did know. You knew it. But you get paid by the Jews. That's why you lie. And all the politicians who serve them, you serve Satan. You will rot in hell. And I will die with my boots on before I will ever submit to you. This is the attitude we need to have. No. Over. There is a line in the sand. There is no gray area here. You are either on the side of Satan or God.
Pretty powerful, man. Pretty damn powerful.
Appreciate you playing that one, brother.
Well,
Well,
I can't
and here's the
argue
thing,
with
nobody
anything
ever-
he said. Not
You
really.
what?
I said I can't really argue with anything he said.
No. And listen, I've been saying this for years, this kind of shit, right? And what do I get for it? People say, oh, you're an anti-Semite. You're an anti-Semite. I try to explain that no, it isn't about anti-Semitism. It's about a country, It's about a political ideal, like Zionism. It's bullshit is what it is. And they want to turn it into it. But it's like in recent times now, it's sort of like, I don't care. Okay, so I'm an anti-Semite. How does that take away from what's actually going on? How does that somehow make the behavior of these people moral? It doesn't. You just trying to scare me, and you've used that word way too often that nobody's fucking listening to it anymore. Nobody cares. Your little death camp narrative is not really fucking resonating with the younger people, man.
All right, and that's who you need. That's what you need. If you're gonna push a narrative and expect it to go and last any longer than 2 to 3 years, you need the youth, man. And I say, I mean, well, I don't want to blow up your show like that, but I guess the smart thing to say is, just continue to treat your children and local community with the respect and speak to them like they're not children, and explain to them, these narratives are only stories, but there are real things going on. I'm sure if it's outside of your state, really, you don't know the whole truth, but yeah, man, you're doing the right thing. So that's kind of what I want to say, man. You're doing the right thing, and who cares if people call you anti-Semite? It's just politically charged rhetoric that they try to get people with, and we know that as flat earthers, we see it more than anything.
Like these people with the SNAP benefits and shit, they'll come on there and say, "Oh, well, you just enjoy seeing children die," and I just answer, I just, well, that's beside the point. I don't argue with them. I'm like, okay, so I like to see kids die. How does this make that right? That you steal my fucking money for it. Well, how does that work?
Right.
Get off of the goddamn pathos. What's up, JPA?
Yo, what's up, bro?
Hello. But yeah, that's it's the hate speech. They started with that hate speech law bullshit. In like 2015, 2014. And just so that they could have a plan to have these words to use against you, right? If you're their political enemy, or if they deem you a domestic terrorist, right? Anyway, I'll stop yapping now. Go ahead, guys.
I was just going to say real quick, if I may, like Hamas, it's comparable to Al Qaeda.
Yeah.
Where in the beginning, it's like they were funded by Israel, created by them. And so it's like, no matter which way you choose, you're still a terrorist.
Right. Well, here you go. About a year or so ago, the guy that's now the head of Syria was on a wanted poster. You could get $500 million for information leading to his capture or death. $500 million, right? What's going on now? Now he's going in and talking to President Trump in the White House, and they're shaking hands and they're all buddies and shit. Now, wait a second. How'd you go from one of the most wanted fucking terrorists on the face of the earth all the way to now you're going in there into the White House making deals with the president of the United States?
Shaking hands and rubbing elbows with the elite. Yeah.
Fucking bullshit. It's because people are so goddamn stupid. They have the memory of a goldfish. I swear to God.
Maybe Trump is the one that claimed the reward. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah, the memory, buddy. He's walking around free as a bird, running an entire fucking country in the Middle East.
Yeah, and just like we know who was trained by the CIA. We know where all the weapons come from that are passed down generationally to support overthrows of certain people that the government doesn't like over here, and they want special access programs to be able to work over in certain countries, and some leaders ain't fucking having it. But you see what I'm saying? Like we usually, just like Operation Northwoods, that's just one of the more famous ones. But these programs, let's say, are projects, operations. They have these code names, and they're all MI6 and whatever. I'm not saying that they're all MI6. What I'm saying is, if we don't smarten up and, like you say, keep this and study this, and realize the past is just a cyclical, it catches up to us in the now, and then it plays out in the future.
That's basically what you're saying. Don't get involved in the game. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Stay out of the fucking game altogether. Now, you know that last thing
Absolutely.
where they said they'd never witnessed Trump doing anything inappropriate with these kids, but then you've got the testimony from somebody who was one of these kids. Listen to this.
Donald Trump had specifically asked about me because I remind him of his daughter, and she said, well, she's 13 as well. So he knew the first time that he saw me. But he comes over mad because I was crying, and he said that I should be thankful that someone like Donald Trump took my virginity. Or he basically didn't say took my virginity. He said, I should be glad that someone like Donald Trump popped my cherry and not some pimply little 14-year-old. And I just was like, what if I said, what if I get pregnant? Not even talking to him. I didn't want to talk to him. I was talking to Tiffany. And he said, well, you'll get an abortion then, bitch. And then just walked away.
Still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years.
What the fuck, right?
Yeah, that's fucking sick. Wow.
Yeah, this ain't no good, man. This is no bueno. Oh God, what is this? It says Trump would be mad if you shared this today. I don't give a fuck if he's mad or not. You? Who is that rumbling on the microphone? RG, that's you, buddy. I'm gonna mute you, bro.
Psst, I see mad people.
Catch up on the wall, yo.
Catch up on the wall, yo. Bonnie says they're on the desk, where did they go? Pam down in the shredder room, that's what we know. Your story has more holes than your course in Mar-a-Lago. What's up with these lame excuses blaming Obama? Your whole party hates you, your hat, and your mama. How many names you got? What cat got your tongue? You forget your BFF Jack who likes some young. Cover your ass and hide the files that you took. Come on, Donnie boy, let's take a look. Can we take a peek in that little black book? Can't cover up a cover up, it really makes you think redact all you want, boy, you running out of ink. Say Trump, I hear you like I'm young, so did what? Cat got your tongue? You thought the story ended now that old Jeff's dead. Better pray a prison cell has a tan in bed. You know the best words, the best people, everything the best. So spill the tea on your besties from the Lolita Express. Not the only politics with freak off miles. Certified cover up, certified Epstein files. Wop, 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 wop. Trump really sucks. Wop, 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 wop. I'ma do my stuff. You know Epstein was the plan's designer. Bet your Trump's in the files in bed with A minor. Trump not like us, Trump not like us, Trump not like us. Trump not like us, Trump not like us, Trump not like us. Trump not like us, Trump not like us, Trump not like us. Trump not like us, Trump not like us, Trump not like us.
He's not as bad as Jimmy Savile. Let's put it that way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they are.
Yeah, it could be.
No, we don't really know. I mean, now we're just talking levels of reprehensible evilness. What the fuck?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, on a scale of 1 to 10, Jimmy Savile's probably at 15.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
he was a necrophiliac as well.
Oh yeah, we just watched a documentary on BBC put out. They're trying to expunge themselves from his ill. Because they put him up, man.
Well, I got something for you.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to give us the lowdown on Arby's, bro.
The lowdown? No, I can't. Sorry.
Now, I'm sure you guys have probably heard by now about the ancient Jewish anti-Semitic tropes, like the blood libel. You know what that actually means? Check this out.
Putin is saying that he has evidence that we in America are being secretly fed each other. If you're a conspiracy head, you've probably known this for a while, and you're probably familiar with the movie Soylent Green, which came out in the year 1973. It's based in the year 2022, and it has this exact thing going on. A lot of us have seen these ads where Chick-fil-A says our secret ingredient is you. McDonald's and all the different fast food chains are known to say this line.
The masses have a hard time believing anything. Well, we've done a great brainwashing job on them over the centuries, and especially the last few hundred years. We've just brainwashed them completely. They believe anything we tell them. And, in the meantime, we have a lot of fun around Passover where we steal the children And, I know you know because I've heard it on your show before. I mean, we steal 100 to 300,000 children a year just here in this country, and we drain the blood and we mix it with the Passover bread, and then we throw the bodies into the slaughterhouses that we own, and we grind up all the bodies in the sausage and the hamburger. McDonald's is one of our favorite outlets, and the people, they eat it for breakfast, they eat their children for lunch, and, us Jews, we gotta do what we do.
Has anyone else realized that this is literally part of the curses in Deuteronomy 28 for when God's people disobey his commandments? You shall eat the fruit of your womb, the flesh of your sons and daughters, whom the Lord God has given you, in the siege and in the distress with which your enemies shall distress you. So when an entire land lives in extreme disobedience, like how the US is right now and these last few years, God is a just judge. He has to give legal rights where they're owed. So we've been given over to the enemy spiritually. So this is part of the warning that we are getting. And the reason I've been bringing things like this up a lot recently is because I have found that people find God when God shakes worldly systems, when people realize that they can't depend on any man-made system or any man. They come right out, just like it says in Revelation, take no part in the unfruitful works of darkness, but instead expose them. For it is shameful even to speak of the things that they do in secret. But when anything is exposed by the light, it becomes visible. For anything that becomes visible is light. Therefore it says, awake, O sleeper, and arise from the dead, and Christ will shine on you. It is time to wake up and find Jesus. He is the only thing that will save us from this mess, and he loves you. Do not be afraid of the things in the world if you are a follower of Christ. If you do not yet know him, I would highly suggest getting to know him. Otherwise, you might want to be afraid.
No, that's interesting. But I have talked to my managers at Arby's, and they said that it's 100% beef, just not the beef you think it is.
Beef is a registered trademark name for human chops.
There you go.
It's like what do they say? They say, I forget which one it is, says that they make their patties from never frozen beef. Never frozen.
Oh, that's Wendy's.
That's Wendy's.
Never frozen is the brand name of the beef that they use, and it's frozen. That's how they get around shit. That's more of that fucking word magic, man. And people are trusting. People, they really are. They're very too trusting.
Yeah, think about the amount of beef Wendy's has to put out on a daily. They'd have to freeze it before they ship it, at least. You can actually buy Wendy's meat in the grocery store now. They have Wendy burgers you can go purchase.
Oh my god!
Yeah, go to Walmart. Go in the freezer section. Look for Wendy's burgers. You'll find them. Yeah.
Well, this thing I got here. Have any of you heard of a series? I'm trying to remember what it was on. I think it's on one of the streaming services, but it's called Mr. Robot. And it's got Christian Slater and that guy that played Freddie Mercury in the movie about Queen. Forget what that guy's name is. He's been in a bunch of shit. But this right here, wow, you want to hear an eye-opener shit? This is crazy. Listen to this. This is a scene from that.
That's Christian Slater, isn't it?
Yeah, man.
It's pretty funny.
He's going off.
When he was younger, he reminded me a lot of like a really young Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, I say the same thing.
I think one of the best movies I saw him early in his career was a movie called Heathers. Have you ever seen that?
Heathers is good. It's a great movie.
Oh my God. It's where he goes on, there's all these girls named Heather, these 3 girls named Heather. Remember that one part? What was it? Ned Beatty, he says, I love my gay son. That movie is fucking hilarious, man. But it's a dark humor, so,
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, the Heathers aren't even good girls. Yeah.
A lot of people liable to go watch that movie and then come back and say, Sav, you a sick motherfucker. You thought that was funny? It's like, yeah, it was really. But
yeah, I haven't seen Christian Slater in years.
I know. Well, I guess he had a real problem with substance abuse or something.
Well, that's kind of understandable when you're in a toxic environment.
Anyway, there's a vibe in Hollywood and around that area in LA that's just, I don't know, you can't really fucking describe it. It's really weird, especially when you get down close to where the record companies are at. walking along Hollywood Boulevard and down the sidewalks with the stars on them and shit. And if you turn down this one road, they're all for music. And it goes right to the, what is it, MCA and Columbia Records is right there. It's like this round building. It looks like a stack of poker chips or some shit.
That's
And
Tower Records, isn't it?
yeah, let me tell you something, man. There's just really a weird vibe there. Right across the street from Grauman's Chinese Theater, right, is the headquarters for the LGBTQRS people and furries. You got to include the furries now. That's making a thing now. So you guys got to believe that was a furry that guy was in love with that shot Charlie Kirk. He goes, what a fucking load of shit, right? But I forgot where I was going with that dumb shit.
What the hell's a furry, anyways? Really?
It was these people. I saw some in Death Valley one time, which was really odd because it was hot as fuck out, man. It was about 120 degrees or hotter down there at Badwater, and these guys were walking around wearing these furry outfits, these costumes, like they were some kind of an animal or something. I don't know, man. I was really high. I don't care. I was like, whatever. Those people are just weird as shit. They're looking for attention. I'm not going to give it to them. But yeah, I mean, so anyway, we saw that place, and the dude that was with us there, he's gay, right? And I looked over at him and I said, dude, shouldn't you like take your hat off or something? Man, that's like the fucking White House for you guys, isn't it? Oh shit. Yeah, that's my choice. I want to.
I talk to some of these younger kids about furries, and they get mad at me when I do. Like, I hate furries. Like they have like a social stigma that goes with it.
I don't hate them or dishate them. I think they're just fucking weird, man. You know, it's just like these people who want to dress up and pretend they're a woman. Yeah, that's fine, man. You want to do that? That's your business and shit. But don't expect me to play fantasy world with you because I'm not gonna. Okay, I'm firmly grounded in what I believe is reality. And I'm seeing beyond these illusions, and I'm just not going to play your fucking game. That's a way to condition me. Try to get me to self-censor. Use proper pronouns. Fuck you.
Agreed. Screw that.
Make up a word and say it's a pronoun and Z. No, that's nothing. That's nothing. Okay, unless you're faking a German accent. Oh, look at Z Floor. You know, no. Fucking people.
Yeah,
But
I'm pulling up material for my show later, and the first thing I get up on Einstein is time dilation. That's the big boom.
Yeah, it doesn't mean shit.
I know, what is time dilation? How do you time dilate?
Listen, it's a load of horseshit is what it is.
I know, but it's a new theory. You gotta love it.
It's a theory, but so is gravity, and we've already tore that shit to pieces, man. So, you know, listen, this is all there is to it. You guys had tried to have some magic duct tape with your gravity, right? Here's your gravity, guys. There it is. It's a magic duct tape that holds their fucking bullshit together, right? But when you get into it, hey, they'll say, "Oh, you don't know science." Yeah, actually I do. So hang on.
No, the problem is they don't have any actual science behind them. None.
No, it's accepted.
Entirely belief-based.
So as soon as they say, you know, and this is the worst one, right? They'll take an object and go right there and drop it. And I'm like, yeah, well, because it dropped to the floor. Hold on a second. Why did it drop to the floor? Because of gravity. Okay. Prove that gravity was the cause of the observed effect. Go ahead. The first thing they'll do is say, well, when you put things in a vacuum chamber, wait. Are you mean to tell me you're manipulating the medium, not gravity, the medium to get the results that you're talking about and telling me that's gravity? Whoa, hold up, man.
Well, what's really funny is like with Newton's general gravity theory that it didn't work, so they made the relativity. They tried to tweak it too, and it still doesn't quite fit. Yeah,
it's just some kind of a mathematical construct with no basis in reality. It's that simple. Mm-hmm. You know, good luck. I have as much proof of magic wizards casting a spell and causing that shit as they do with that. I do. I have just as much fucking proof. Hell, I'll even go ahead as far as to name the wizards, you know, if you want me to.
Well,
That
at least
make
you're
it
not as bad
real?
as it's as bad as Miller. He thinks he could manipulate the ether with a flute. So
First you have to establish the ether and what it actually is,
yeah,
you know.
and how
And
the
so
flute
far,
manipulates it.
bupkis, man, bupkis. But a medium is, I believe, it's of course necessary for sound to travel, for I believe for light to travel as well. This shit they say, oh yeah, it goes this fast in a vacuum. How the fuck do you know that? You know, I mean, they just tell you this shit. And there again, 4 out of 5 dentists surveyed said, oh, listen, you hear that? The dentists agreed that gum is good for your teeth. I just made that up, man. You believed it, right? Just like you believe that Juan Valdez and putting his little kid with his pissy diaper up on that sack of coffee on the back of a donkey and shit, that dude was really out there picking the coffee for you. No, he wasn't, man. There's a bunch of fucking Colombian slaves out there doing that, making a buku amount of money over on the other side of the mountain picking fucking coca leaves. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, they were chewing on those cocoa leaves is what they're doing. That's how they pick all those beans so quick.
That's how they get 18-hour days out of those motherfuckers. You'll pick that shit. Now, see, for some reason, I was picturing Cambodia. You do math. That's how the Asians punish their kids. So you go and Kona, you do math. You don't come back till you doctor or lawyer.
Can I say hi to Cubby right quick? Hey, Cubby.
Hi. See how long I last.
See how long you last. So far, so good.
That's what you said.
He was waiting for that one.
Anyway, yeah, we'll see.
What do you think about those emails getting leaked out, man?
I don't know. Time will tell.
Well, this is what they're doing on the show. I'm trying to figure out what they're doing with this latest plot twist. Okay. And I have to look at it. Look, I have to look at it just like, and a lot of you are probably too young. I already know Derek up there. He's way too young. He don't remember a show called Dallas. Not a bit. Okay. But there was this show called Dallas. People would tune in to watch it every week. It was like kind of like a soap opera, but not as cheesy as the daytime dramas. And for a whole season, man, it started out this guy, it's one of the main characters, JR, someone shot him, right? And they were like, oh, they got to find out who shot JR. Was it Sue Ellen? Was it this guy? Was it this girl? You know, all this other dumb shit. And then every week they was having some more stuff about who shot JR. Hell, you go to the supermarket and the tabloids would be sitting there with shit about, we know who shot JR and all this other fucking shit, right? And they went and wasted their time in the whole season with all that bullshit. People arguing
Kept going on and on and on.
They got to the end of the season and come to find out it was all a dream.
So you got to build up the character JR. JR Ewing was a rich oil tycoon with a down in Dallas, and everybody wanted to kill him anyways. That was the whole point.
Larry Hagman, yeah, that's what I was saying. You know, that's kind of like when you go fucking with people and calling their work and trying to get them fired and that kind of shit. Sooner or later, you're going to run across the wrong one, and the list of suspects is going to be majorly huge. Right, MC Toon? Right, Craig? Okay. So you're going to have this huge list of suspects. It could have been any one of these 400 fucking people, you know? What are you going to do? And that's what they had on this Who Shot JR. But I thought it was so wild because they strung people along with it. Man, I knew people that would go, oh, man, I can't come over tonight. What? Oh, we're watching Dallas, man. That was it. I'll come over after Dallas.
That was my
There
mom.
was no taping it and that kind of shit. Some people had VCRs, but there was always flashing 12 and it was hard to set to record, you know?
Those things were hard to record on the VHSs. Man.
They were. You had to set them for channel 3 and all this other nonsense. And then they come out with the TiVo.
No, TiVo was a joke, man. It really, and you paid for that, didn't you?
Yeah.
That was the start of algorithms right there.
Yep, sure as hell was. People found out that they was actually coming in on their box and removing stuff that they had recorded on it.
Yeah, it happened to me, actually.
Yeah.
Actually, the one and only video I have on my channel is that happened to. Which is just kind of goofy. I mean, I just did it as sort of a joke, but I really recorded it. But then I went to go look back on my TV and it was gone. I recorded that through TiVo.
Right.
Or whatever you want to call it. Huh?
You still have the video, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's up on my channel. That's the only video I've ever uploaded to my channel.
I'm trying to
Well,
remember
I
what
did
it
one
was.
other one, but then I deleted it. But anyhow.
What was it about again? I can't
It
remember.
was just that stupid thing with the alien transmission coming
Oh
through.
yeah, deep.
But,
What's that noise?
You remember the other night? You remember the other night when we talked about Patton?
Yeah.
And how he kind of had a change of heart there toward at the end of the war.
Mhm.
I've got a little short video that's pretty good on that. I'll show that, and then I'm going to bring up that thing about that you sent about Epstein confirmed as an Israeli spy.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, good God, he had the Israeli prime minister shacking at his place and partaking of his goods, so to speak. I mean, come on.
I guess the only thing I'd say about that whole ordeal is that it's kind of like the pot calling the kettle black. You know, it's like everybody's involved in this.
Oh,
Yet
yeah.
they're being super selective on who, whether it's Trump, I mean, obvious, but whether it's just him, you know, no, it's all these people. They're all freaking involved.
He don't want none of it coming out at all, because this is that would humiliate the shit out of him. See,
Well, I think economically it would be, look at all the people who have money in the stock market that would be involved. That would destroy things economically. It would be a big domino to fall, really.
I got shifted reality backstage, but he doesn't have anything connected. He's just a name on there right now. Well, the thing is I heard a thing about him that he has a real hang up about mashed potatoes, because there was something happened at a family dinner and he was being his normal self-centered fucking self, and somebody dumped fucking mashed potatoes on him and he was completely embarrassed and humiliated. He cannot take it. He can dish it out. He's a bully.
Yeah.
But he cannot take it at all. This is why he goes throwing fucking lawsuits toward anybody that says anything about him. Say, and now you got Kash Patel's girlfriend trying to sue Elijah Schaffer for some him not saying a goddamn thing. That's what's so funny. But anyway, oh, there's somebody. Who'd that be? There he is. You made it! Yay!
Hey, Chip. Yeah.
Hey, Rob. All right, so here's what we got. Listen here.
At the end of World War II, General Patton did not celebrate victory. He looked around and said, all we did was trade one threat for an even bigger one. And the greatest threat to the United States was already in sight. He was a complex character, to say the least. But perhaps the most interesting and profound part of his story has been written out of history almost entirely. And that is the massive change of heart he had about both sides in World War II. After leading an army to victory in that war, he developed radically different opinions about Germans, Soviet communists, and most infamously, about Jews. One of the incidents that upset him most was when he was ordered to hold back when he was on the verge of taking Berlin. In a letter to his wife, who he was very close to, he wrote, "We have destroyed what could have been a good race, and we are about to replace them with Mongolian savages. Now all of Europe will be communist." It said that for the first week after they took it, all the women who ran were shot, and those that did not were raped. I could have taken it instead had I been allowed. After having been impressed by the conduct of the Germans and extremely dismayed by the conduct of the Soviet communists, who of course were US allies, his change of heart was so extreme that he publicly declared the unthinkable, that the United States had fought on the wrong side of that war. There are some variations of this disputed quote, but he is claimed to have come to the inexcusable conclusion that we fought on the wrong side of this war. We should have fought with the fascists against the communists and not the other way around. How could the US have been so misled that they fought on the wrong side of history's greatest conflict? Well, for Patton, it was a result of powerful Jewish influence over the American media and the Roosevelt administration. He wrote on 3 separate occasions, "There is a very apparent Semitic influence in the press. All that writing is done by the Jews to get revenge. Actually, the Germans are the only decent people left in Europe. If what we are doing to the Germans is liberty, then give me death. I can't see how the Americans can sink so low. It is Semitic, and I am sure of it." He was so distressed by what he had been a part of, and the fact that virtually no Americans understood what they had been manipulated into, that he declared his intent to resign from the army and enter politics, with the mission of exposing this great travesty to the American people. In a diary entry of May 1944, he wrote, "If they will let me fight, I will, but if not, I will resign so as to be able to talk, and then I will tell the truth. and possibly do my country more good. In December of 1945, he wrote to his wife that he would be home for Christmas and then retire. But instead, he was killed by complications from a vehicle accident that happened only 4 days later, after just having survived the most brutal war in world history. So was this a simple accident, or the assassination of America's most famous general, right before he blew the lid off the fact that America had sacrificed its sons so that Jewish communists could take over Western Europe, and then eventually the United States? Let me know what you think in the comments, and you know what? Drop your favorite Patton quote in there too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I can see why Patton would think that way. If you actually look at what the National Socialist Party was actually all about, it was just basically gung-ho for their own country.
Yeah.
And their own people. They wanted to get all the banks and the vile people at the top from running the show. He wanted to bring Germany back to its prime.
The people.
Well, they wanted to get foreign influences out.
He wanted to make Germany great again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was going about it the right
Exactly
way.
what it was. That's exactly what it was. He was pushing strong nationalism. The only thing is he didn't flip-flop like this motherfucker did. Right. And I told him he was going to flip-flop. I said that as soon as he gets in there, he's going to be make Israel great again. Fuck you, America. And what happened? That was exactly what I said.
Yeah.
Go Israel. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Wow. Ridiculous.
Wow. There we go.
My principles are like my eyeliner, reapplied and rebranded every news cycle.
My Hot Mess Express lips were made for lying, and that's just what they'll do.
When I walk into a room, fake patriots salute me. Real ones think, God help us.
My advice? Shoot first and fact check later, especially if it's wagging its tail.
A vaccine in the arm keeps me up at night, but a worm in the brain tucks me in.
I genuinely never know where I'm looking, which makes hiding the Epstein files a breeze.
Enigmas never age, and every day is a wonderful secret, except the Epstein list. I'm on every damn page.
The Real Housewives of the White House. Oh, God.
It wouldn't be so fun if it wasn't so true.
I know, right? That's what I like about all these is it's showing that, look, it is a fucking show. This is all just fucking make-believe bullshit.
If we couldn't laugh at it, what else is there to do but cry?
Can't wait for the ballroom to get built. I want to see them all dance.
I got one more, and then I'm going to go to Covey's video that he sent about Epstein being a Mossad intelligence asset. Look at that. I can't do that. There we go.
We spend years in school learning about the Holocaust, but they never tell us what the American and British governments did to the Germans after the war was over. They held millions of captured German soldiers in open-air concentration camps with no shelter and no latrines, just barbed wire surrounding muddy fields. They had to burrow sleeping spaces into the ground with their bare hands. And in some camps, there were so many people they barely had enough room to lay down. Eisenhower reclassified them as disarmed enemy forces versus prisoners of war, which they were. This was a paperwork trick that stripped their Geneva Convention protections overnight. As prisoners of war, they should have been released immediately, but as disarmed enemy forces, they could be used as slave labor with no rights to any food, water, or shelter. And so many of them died within days. They clawed at the ground for grass to eat, drank from puddles mixed with their own waste, so obviously diseases spread like wildfire, and bodies piled up faster than burial details could even move them. Decades later, US soldiers described mass graves being dug while they were still alive. They were too weak to crawl and were just shoved into pits. Bulldozers pushed dirt over their helpless bodies as they screamed and reached through the soil. If Germans were captured out in town, the US Army's unofficial policy was to kill them on sight. One of the biggest massacres at the hands of the Americans was shooting 700 troops through the back of the head and machine gunned down 300 surrendered guards at Dachau. A US Army soldier is quoted saying, "Some of our boys were lining up German prisoners in the fields. There must have been 25 or 30 German boys in each group. Machine guns were being set up. These boys were to be machine gunned down and murdered. We were committing the same crimes we were accusing them of doing." As a veteran myself, and as somebody who has spent years researching these topics, I can tell you definitively, this isn't just a lapse of judgment, it is a pattern. The US has spent decades condemning others for the very crimes it commits in secret and even out in the open. What the American government did to the captured German soldiers, to the Vietnamese, to the Iraqis, to the Palestinians, raises a very important question that nobody ever wants to face. And that's, what's the purpose of fighting a war against terror if we become the very terrorists we claim to be fighting? If you're interested in learning more about this topic and hundreds like it, then just comment books below and I'll send you my forbidden reading list of 200 plus books for free that shows you the real history that the media and American textbooks conveniently leave out.
Now I've got that link to, I can put it in the chat.
I'm not disputing the information that some of these TikTok video chicks are making, but it is awfully interesting to me that they always find these young, hot looking girls to spread all these historians nonetheless. Because she's been doing this for years because she's super old. But anyway, I don't know.
She must have been young when she was there witnessing it, to be fair.
Say what?
Yeah, well, she never ages. That's the problem. See, she stays that same age period, no matter how old she is. Yeah.
But
he's nonetheless, saving Private Ryan, really.
There we go.
Saving Ryan's privates. What did you say?
Saving Ryan's privates. And
what are you going to do with it when you save them? That's the question.
So once again, that's put down in the chat.
Well, Cubby short season. See you guys.
What happened? He left? Damn it.
I don't think he did it on purpose.
He's having Cubby short season.
Yeah, he said short season.
Yeah. He's making reference.
Yeah, this is pretty much. This is what I said. This is what I said. It's what I said. It's what I said. Look at here. President we voted for over here. And then over here on the right, that's what we got. Right there. That's the best.
That's it. That's it. Yeah.
All right. So let's take a look at this thing. This is about 8 minutes. Let's see how much weed can I smoke in 8 minutes. Let's find out. Good. It's a scientific experiment. Yeah.
I'd say 3 bowls, maybe 4.
3 bowls, maybe. Depends on how much I put in the bowl, though. Say.
That's true. Yeah.
So where's the natural cause you're observing? That's what I want.
Once you hit it the first time, you don't give a fuck. It doesn't matter. It's just like,
there's no natural cause.
It's an excuse. Well, I'm just actually demonstrating gas pressure with a containment system, how a dynamic gas pressure system works, and how I can dynamically get really stoned.
And there's fluid in it too, right? In there.
Yeah, there's water. We got both water and air we're using. We're adding particulates to it so that we can actually observe the air. And I'll take it from that container into these containers, and then I'll exhale it out into these containers. Now the THC will be absorbed and it will go into the containers of my blood cells, right? That are held within physical containment of arteries and veins and shit. See, everything's a fucking container within a container within a container. There's no getting away from it, man.
That's a fancy word for hotboxing, Soph.
That is. I like it. I like it. All right, here we go. 50 to 149.
Here we go. Another conspiracy theory that is now confirmed a conspiracy fact. Jeffrey Epstein wasn't just some financier who was into young women. No, he was, in fact, an Israeli asset, and we now have the documents to prove it. From Dropsite News, shout out to them for breaking this. They say that an Israeli spy stayed for weeks at a time with Jeffrey Epstein in Manhattan. Leaked emails show Epstein working on a wire transfer to Ehud Barak's top aide, Yoni Korn, who regularly stayed at his apartment. Quote, an Israeli military intelligence officer, Yoni Korn, stayed at Jeffrey Epstein's Manhattan apartment on at least 3 occasions, including once in February of 2013 while working as a senior aide to then Israeli Minister of Defense, Ehud Barak. Wow. So what was Korn allegedly doing while he was staying at Epstein's apartment? Well, according to leaked...
I'm sorry, I was... that Ehud Barak was staying with Epstein quite a bit too. They were pretty chummy. So I find that pretty interesting too.
Emails, the 3 were engaged in some mysterious wire transfers. You can see here a message from Barak to Epstein with Korn's bank account information. Dropsite reports that, quote, Korn was a covert fixer in Washington who enjoyed special access to senior national security figures, including Leon Panetta and his senior advisor, Jeremy Bash. Bash just so happens to be the ex-husband of CNN anchor Dana Bash. So if you are wondering why none of this information ever makes it onto primetime coverage in mainstream media, well, it's maybe because everyone involved is a part of the same club. Continuing on, quote, after Barak's retirement from government, Korn continued to serve as an informal intermediary between the American and Israeli intelligence communities, with Barak acting as his handler. Email records show Barak using Korn as an intermediary to exchange information with Ayman, the Israeli Military Intelligence Directorate. Korn was also active in Epstein and Barak's effort to source cybersecurity startups from the technology research units of Ayman, demonstrating how enmeshed in Israeli spy networks he remained. So the big question to those who still think that this is some kind of crazy conspiracy theory, answer this for us, why don't you? Why was an Israeli intelligence officer using Epstein's Manhattan apartment basically like a safe house? And not only that, Epstein himself was arranging money transfers, lodging, meetings between Israeli and U.S. officials and other foreign officials. Okay, take a look at this. Another set of leaked emails show that Barak arranged a meeting at Epstein's New York mansion for a, quote, overview of the coming days about helping broker a security cooperation between the governments of Israel and Mongolia. Why would the prep for those meetings be taking place at Jeffrey Epstein's mansion? Well, Dropsite reports, quote, in the shadows of Israel's cyber boom was Jeffrey Epstein, who exploited his network of political and financial elites to help Barak and ultimately the Israeli government itself to increase the penetration of Israel's spy tech firms into foreign countries, in this case, Mongolia. Epstein actively supported the Israeli intelligence industry via venture capital investments and contributions to charitable organizations, non-governmental entities that laid the foundation for official Israeli security deal-making. But wait, there is more. Jeffrey Epstein and the Mossad, how the sex trafficker helped Israel build a back channel to Russia amid Syrian civil war. Hacked emails show how Jeffrey Epstein and former Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak tried to engineer a Russian-led solution to remove Bashar al-Assad. Quote, together, Barak and Epstein sought to pressure the Obama administration to either intervene directly in the Syrian war or make concessions to the Kremlin in exchange for Assad's graceful exit. In their exchanges, Epstein expressed his frustration at the Obama administration's failure to contain Tehran as the two men searched for opportunities to promote U.S. strikes on Iran. Which country was it that wanted us to bomb Iran again? Anyway, here's that email from Barak to Epstein expressing his gratitude, saying thanks for setting up this whole thing together. So at this point, the question isn't whether Epstein was helping former Israeli PM Ehud Barak. We know he was through all of these emails. The bigger question is, was he doing it as an American citizen on behalf of American interests or as a proxy, an auxiliary for a foreign government? And today, this is good timing. Today, the House committee just released thousands of more documents from the Epstein estate as part of a congressional probe. And in one of these emails, it looks like Jeffrey Epstein and a journalist named Michael Wolff was basically plotting to try to blackmail Trump during his 2016 campaign. From Wolf to Epstein, quote, I think you should let him hang himself. If he says he hasn't been on the plane or to the house, then that gives you a valuable PR and political currency. You can hang him in a way that potentially generates a positive benefit for you, or if it really looks like he could win, you could save him, generating a debt. Blackmail or not, it's clear over the course of the past 8 or 9 months Trump has been president that he doesn't want to be any part of this story, whether it be the sex trafficking or the covert intelligence ops, none of it. So we should naturally all be asking, what does Trump know and what is he going to do about potentially one of the biggest foreign spy operations in U.S. history?
Trump did not receive or send any of the messages. They largely predate his time as president, and he has not been accused of any criminal wrongdoing in connection with Epstein or Maxwell. The White House is now responding and saying that, and I'm quoting now from the White House, the Democrats selectively leaked emails to the liberal media to create a fake narrative to smear President Trump, end quote.
Oh, okay. It's a Democrat hoax. Got it. You know, I'm often asked about the erosion of trust in government and in media, in institutions, and how we can get people to trust them again. Well, it's this. It's opportunities like this. It's accountability. It's putting people behind bars who commit heinous acts against minors and people who commit high treason against the United States of America. That is how we save this country. The silver lining here is that the unprecedented government shutdown is hopefully coming to an end in a couple of days, and the House will be swearing in a new member, and that new member is the final signature needed to force a vote on releasing the Epstein files. My name is James Lee. This is the 5149 Show. Let me know what you think about all of this, the proof that we have that basically confirms a lot of the allegations that Epstein worked on behalf of Israeli intelligence. And also, let me know what you think Trump's role in all of this is, if any. Sound off in the comment section below. If you want to support my work, please take a second to like this video, share it, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so yet, hit that notification bell. And as always, thank you for your time, and I'll see you in the next one.
Wouldn't I get personal relationships?
Trump.
Thank you for your time, and I'll see you in the next one.
Have you ever had a personal relationship with Donald Trump?
What do you mean by personal relationships?
Have you socialized with him?
Yes, sir.
Yes?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever socialized with Donald Trump in the presence of females under the age of 18?
Dude, this guy. He's just as bad as the rest of them, you know? He really is. And these people are buying into it. Stinky cash. So let me see what's going on here. I can't go on just running away. There we go. Wait, is that the one? No, I'm in the wrong.
If you're taking vitamin D3 or D,
in the wrong fucking place. There he is. Uno momento. Here we go. Why didn't it open? Come on, you booger.
If there's anyone in the audience who has a comment.
Oh yeah, we had that. We showed that on here. We showed that. If you want to go to that song from Stinky Cash, I put a community post that has that on it, so it's pretty good if you're maybe interested in seeing that. Let's see, yeah, there's more on that. Further Israel connection being revealed. What is this? Oh, this is kind of interesting too. Of course, as the sands through the hourglass, right? This is fucking crazy. Listen to this nonsense.
What I think is happening is you're going to see JD Vance's wife disappear soon. Some way, shape, or form. They're going to get a divorce, something. He's going to marry Erica Kirk and solidify the base.
Wow.
Mark my words. Because think about that. And also think about the other thing. I mean, the rumors floating around that now that Charlie's not there, they took the $150 million that they offered Charlie that he turned down.
So is she supposed to be? Yeah, I know what you're talking about. So is she supposed to be the leader of?
She is the leader.
She's the leader
Yeah.
and the voice of Turning Point as of right now.
Now think about Turning Point for a minute. Okay, since we're talking about the traveling tiny hats, they funded Turning Point USA as a street team, basically. They ran through the colleges and promoted the agenda.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So when Charlie Kirk got to a certain point and then started to question Dad slapped the shit out of him.
Yeah.
But now that he's gone, all the policies are reverting back to pre-Charlie talking shit.
True.
Charlie didn't do anything, did he? To be honest.
Yeah, come on. They're setting her up to be the first lady. Come on. Man.
Yeah. Because look, it's already the broad that JD Vance is married to. I guess she's like a Hindu or some shit like that. And of course, he pretends he's a devout evangelical Christian, right? That's what he claims. Straight from the Bible Belt of Appalachia. Get the fuck out of here, character. Anyway, and he had said before he hopes that his wife comes over to realize about Jesus and this, that, and the other so she can be saved. There's already a spiritual incompatibility amongst these two, you see. So it fits into the idea. And let's face it, man, that hug at that event from her. I mean, if my old lady saw a woman come up and hug me like that, she'd kick the fucking shit out of that broad. That's for real. That's for real. You don't run your fingers all up in his hair and hold the back of his head. That's like a prelude to a kiss right there.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah, it was fucked up. Yeah.
Well, it's sort of like they put little things out there for you to actually notice so that they can sell the thing. It's sort of like you're watching a movie and for no apparent reason, the camera pans over and focuses in on an ice pick, right? And then and I always go, okay, that ice pick is going to come in somewhere in this thing, right? Yeah. And sure as hell, they get trapped in the room, can't get out. And I said, they're going to use that ice pick. Watch, go ahead. Boom, that's what they do. They showed it to you to already see it in your mind. They made it purposeful that you noticed that.
Yeah.
All the other stuff. See, it's almost like they tell you what they're doing right in the middle of it.
Yeah, dude, subliminally, they're fucking programming that shit. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. This whole thing is through subliminals and sigil magic. There's 4 types of magic with a K being used on people right now. Okay, simultaneously with one another. You've got the illusory magic, okay, and that's pretty much kind of like what TV, CGI, movies, all that bullshit, right? Then you've got sigil magic, which is the use of symbols and shapes and sacred geometry to activate various portions of the mind. There's more as well. And then you get into the pharmakia, which is the use of potions and potents in order to subdue, control, or kill your enemy. Okay, it's a way of poisoning. It's a way of manipulation. Let's see, what do we do? It's illusory. Oh, and Enochian magic, speech magic, which we've been discussing on the show with the book Word Magic, which is kind of giving us an idea how these spells are cast without us even knowing it, because we have this vulgar understanding of what words actually mean. That's
they know better. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, listen, once you're in the know and you hear people talk, it'll crack you up too. So you know these motherfuckers are laughing at you.
Well, and let's imagine that we're all police detectives, like with Turning Point and Charlie Kirk. And we're being told several different stories at the same time. There's no way around it. Somebody's lying.
And it starts
no way around
it starts with the initial lie that somebody was actually fucking shot on the university campus. That didn't really happen. They're pushing that. Then who assassinated him? He's dead. Blah blah blah. And he's buried here. No, he's buried here. Blah 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 blah. No autopsy.
I still can't buy that he was shot with a 30-06, even if it was a ricochet. Do you know what a 30-06 will do to your head, even off a ricochet? It would turn it into an exploded watermelon.
Yeah, I used to have an old Army Springfield converted to a deer rifle that was a 30-06. That thing was fucking devastating, man.
Yeah.
My dad took.
Neither of these people don't know their firearms. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
My dad was out in Wyoming hunting antelope, and this jackrabbit come rolling through the prairie right there, and he put a bead on it. And just as he was getting ready to pull the trigger, that rabbit ran behind a shrub, and he pulled that trigger. And he said there was just fucking fur and meat flew out the other side of that goddamn bush, man.
Yeah, so they pull it off in the country where supposedly we know our guns.
Yeah.
Yet these jabronis can't fucking tell what the fuck a 30-06 would do. Come on, dude.
No, they don't know nothing about any of this
Right.
shit at all.
Right.
They're programmed by movies. They think bullets make sparks. Okay, because they see it in the movies. Sorry, lead nor copper will make sparks when you strike them. Okay, it just doesn't happen. These people hiding behind a door of a car, using that for cover in a gunfight. Dude, come on, man. You shoot right through that fucking sheet metal door. You're going to have a bad day because you're going to get pieces of door in your wound as well, man. I see them do some of the dumbest shit, and these people, they'll try to copy it. And what's this thing about turning the gun sideways? That's the dumbest shit. You got an automatic, you turn it sideways so the ejection portal is shooting the fucking hot brass right back into your face. That's about the dumbest shit I've ever heard of. All because they saw, I don't know, Wesley Snipes or somebody else do that shit. And they said, oh, yeah, it's a Mickey badass like that. Get out of here. People are a product of this. So that's my.
So for those of us who know better, I mean, we know this is BS. Excuse me. Go ahead. Didn't mean to cut you off.
When you hold a shotgun.
Yeah.
I can hold it without putting it in my shoulder. If you have it's better if you have a sawed off part where you hold it like that.
Well, yeah, you're not getting nearly the muzzle velocity with a sawed off shotgun. I'll let you do that Remington 887 of mine. It's got a
I leave my regular 12 gauge. I leave the barrel
12
on,
gauge.
but
the Remington 887 is a 12 gauge shotgun. That thing will blow you back. I guarantee you won't hold that without putting it against something. I guarantee it. It's gonna kick. It's got a full size barrel. Plus, it has a door breach muzzle on it too, with the serration on it, so you can jam it right into the doorway and pull the trigger and blow the door off the hinge.
Yeah,
it's a police.
I used to have a. I think it was a 12 gauge with a 410. No, what was it? A 410 with a 22 over. It's a pretty cool gun. 22 with a 410 or something like that.
Get that Judge, man. That thing's a beast. It's got 12 gauge in it, man. Little pistol revolver. That fucking thing. That's a widowmaker right there, baby. That's a widowmaker. Anyway, let me bring this up.
A 410 will fit in a 40 cal, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So in case you guys missed it, I don't know if you guys are paying attention, but President Trump just claimed that you Americans aren't smart enough and aren't talented enough to work jobs and make missiles, so we need to import H-1B visas to the max. And ain't looking like it is a good week for President Trump, is it? Check this video out.
Yeah, he basically said Americans are too stupid. We need to bring people from overseas.
That's bullshit, by the way. I work in that industry, and that's bullshit. So anyways.
Like what we have right now.
And does that
the
mean
Republicans have to talk about it?
And does that mean the H-1B visa thing will not be a big priority for your administration? Because if you want to raise wages for American workers, you can't flood the country with tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of foreign workers.
You also do have to bring in talent. when
Well, we
a
have
country
plenty of talented
no,
people
no, you
here.
don't. No, you don't.
We don't have
You're
talented people here?
No, you don't have certain talents, and people have to learn. You can't take people off an unemployment line and say, I'm going to put you into a factory where we're going to make missiles, or I'm going to put
How did we ever do it before?
Well,
when you and I were
I'll give you an example. In Georgia, they raided because they wanted illegal immigrants out. They had people from South Korea that made batteries all their lives. You know, making batteries are very complicated.
There was bad people from South Korea sent over by the company to make these batteries, but not forever, to teach American workers how to do it the way that the company wants to do it. Makes sense, right? But this guy just goes in and throws in there and says, oh, they're bad people. How the fuck you know they were bad people? What'd they do?
That's bullshit. That's not even what we do. Again. Jeez.
This guy.
Complicated. Wow. It's not an easy thing. It's very dangerous. A lot of explosions, a lot of problems. They had like 500 or 600 people, early stages, to make batteries and to teach people how to do it. Well, they wanted them to get out of the country. You're going to need that, Laura. I mean, I know you and I disagree on this. You can't just say a country's coming in, going to invest $10 billion to build a plant and get a...
You're the one that had him deported, asswipe. The hell is he even talking about?
I don't even know what he's talking about because we don't even do. This is not how we repair missiles.
Well, he's talking about the Hyundai plant. I think it was a Hyundai plant, or one of them, or maybe it was Kia.
About cars now?
Yeah, he was talking about down there at this a Kia plant or whatever, a Kia plant, making Korean cars. It's made in South Korea, but they have a plant here, just opened. They're got South Korean auto workers from that company there teaching the American workers how to do it the company way, and then they go home. Okay. Well, his Tom Homan and the ICE people went in there and fucking rounded those people up and deported them. Now he's talking about, well, you can't deport those people. Dude, that was your order.
That was.
They used to do that. I remember back when the Japanese were we started they had some of the Japanese plants in America, and their crew would come over and teach them that it was like
we did it to ourselves. The reason the Japanese kicked our asses in the 80s and late 70s was for this reason alone: our own arrogance. Okay, it was our arrogance. Post World War II, Japan was at zero manufacturing capability. These are all the manufacturing giants that were in the world at the time. Okay, Japan was down to 0%. Germany and France were approximately 17% production capabilities. England at a fair 48%. The United States was 100%. 100%. You know why? Because we never got bombed over here. We never had the destruction that the rest of Europe did, right? So it was pretty much, yeah, that foreign stuff's really cheap. What else are you going to get? Buy American, we just make it. And, well, this here's broke. Well, that's all right. They would have like 30 repair bays at the end of an average assembly line in an auto plant. Now, I know what I'm talking about because my dad was a tool and die maker for General Motors for 37 years. And I've been in that plant before, and I checked out how the whole fucking thing works, right? So they would have all these repair bays, and those things would be full. Now, granted, this is at the end of the assembly line. The car's supposed to be fucking done, right? And they got cars waiting to go in there because somebody fucked up, didn't do something here right, didn't do something there right, blah, 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 and there's cars stacked up for it, right? The Japanese, they had a total of 5 repair bays, and there was never any wait because everything that was coming off the line worked. Now, why? What did they do? They implemented implemented what is called statistical process control. In other words, instead of waiting till the thing is completely done and then finding defects in it, monitor the defects at every stage of the assembly process. You might have these pins over here have been running out of spec and they're not the right size or some shit like that. So every hour you take 5 random parts You measure the critical dimensions, and this will tell you if you're getting tool wear or anything else like that. Now, if you do this through the entire manufacturing process, you can get to a near zero defect rate. And that was one of the reasons that the Japanese were kicking our ass. And we still didn't go with it. All we did was say, oh, it's unpatriotic to buy their shit. Why? It's well built and it's cheaper. What are you talking about? I knew a lady and she'd get this sound that came from it every time she went over these certain railroad tracks. She took it to the mechanic. They couldn't find what it was. Finally, she took the mechanic for a ride, and they went over the railroad tracks in question, and it made that noise. Well, shit, they took the cover off the spring, the coil spring in there, and there was a fucking Budweiser can. That happened at the plant. So you actually had a lot of substance abuse going on the assembly lines as well. And the thing was that because they were union, they couldn't do nothing to them. They say, yeah, we can't help but notice you're always strung out on fucking heroin here. So we're going to send you to this lavish retreat and this, rehab center and shit. And after a month, and you'll keep getting paid. And then after a month, you come back and you just, shit, it was hard as hell to fire somebody for that. Japanese, no, you're not putting the weight. You're out. Bye.
The Japanese, I spent a year in Okinawa, Japan as a Marine, and I learned something about the Japanese while I was over there. When they go to work at something, it's like going to war. The whole nation is at war. So that when they entered the Industrial Revolution and started building shit, they were really good at it because it was like the whole nation works together as a tribe.
They're a logical thinking people too. They have the capacity for deductive reasoning. Here,
they're smart too. They're very smart.
Here in the West, we don't focus on that. Look at what they do. Look what they do. Oh, what are you trying to be, some kind of a professor or something? Why do you use those big 50-cent words? I'm like, why don't you go get a fucking dictionary and increase your vocabulary, bud? But people are ridiculed. People get ridiculed knowing things, And there's a difference between knowing things and believing things. There really is. And most of these these people that think that they know shit, no, they only know something that they were told. And most of the time they never thought about it. Never even thought about it. They just took it at face value based on who told it to them. But teacher said, leading experts say,
right? Can I get one of those 50-cent words for a quarter?
Anti-disestablishmentarianism.
Oh, cool. Nice.
That's a good one.
Well, when we were over there as Marines, we would always buy we could get their stereos really like Kenwood and
do their hookers
Sony.
I'm just
Do
wondering.
you know what Sony stands for?
No.
After World War II, it stood for Standard Oil of New York. We went over there and we gave them, so Sony was owned by Standard Oil of New York. And then we gave them all our secrets and, RCA, they got better at it because they were more meticulous, and whatever they do like they're at war. So, it's like, it's a tribal thing. And so we gave them our secrets. They're just like we give the secrets to the Chinese, and then they get better at it. And
Japan was an isolated society. Japan was an isolated society. Nobody that was a foreigner was allowed to go there for like 1,000 fucking years. They'd be killed
until after the Civil War.
What you got going on with like these big manufacturers in Japan, those are pretty much like the shogun were back in the day. They're that type of power. And a lot of them are like, you think about Honda, right? You think about motorcycles and automobiles, right? But there was a lot of tanks made by Honda. Kawasaki made fighter planes, and
I got a Japanese excavator, a 190 Blade Runner, a Cabela.
I got a True Value shovel. That's about the extent of my dating.
I remember as kids growing up, and the American toys were the best, and the Japanese toys were junk. And then all of a sudden, it's the opposite.
Well,
Japanese
products
toys.
initially Japanese products, were shoddy and cheap because they were in a hurry to get an economy underway. Because we devastated them, right? We actually put them under script. We used actually the peso. Japan used the peso while they were occupied. So if you're ever at in an antique store, fucking around in a garage sale or something, and you pick something up, and if it says made in occupied Japan, snag that fucker up. That's worth some money, because the U.S. only occupied Japan for a very short period of time. And so those are, collectors are hard after those types of things, which I think, I've got a couple of things from occupied Japan. So I think that's kind of cool.
They used to sell the toys at Hobby Lobby on where I was from. And you go to the Hobby Lobby, or I can't remember. It was the hobby shop.
Mm-hmm.
And they would sell Japanese toys, and American toys were really good. But the Japanese toys were junk. And then all of a sudden it's the opposite. Like the American stereos, RCA used to be the best. Now the stereos are Kenworth, they're all made in Japan. And same
so
thing with Chinese.
I got something funny for you. I don't think this girl would fare too well with our singer that we like to show. Let's show her again, just for the fans. We got fans out there.
I remember when I lost my mind.
There we go.
Before you get going too far, my name is Paul Harvey, and that is the rest of the story.
Well, this girl probably wouldn't have fared too well. So check this out, you'll laugh. Oops, I did that wrong.
Uh-oh.
Wait, there we go.
Fresh because it just happened, but my wife and I just went to the grocery store right by her house, just to buy like junk food and stuff, because we're really tired. We just wanted some sweet treats. And we were walking down an aisle, and there were like two guys that walked up next to us. Peyton walked away, my wife walked away for just a second, and they were like snickering to themselves or something. And I didn't really think much of it. So I'm just looking at the candy aisle trying to decide what candy I want. And he walks by and gets inches from me and just rips one, farts this far from me. That's disgusting to say. I can't even believe I'm having to say this, but he did. And about that time, Peyton walked up, didn't witness what happened, but seconds later, and I'm upset, and I follow after him. I was like, is there a reason? You were just so disrespectful to me. Called you an idiot. Here. And he never felt so dehumanized.
Now, can you imagine getting that wrecked about a fart?
Makes me want to see her just to get the biggest fart out I could possibly do.
Yeah, I just farted. I farted in chat a little while ago.
Oh, listen, speaking of which, my dog Peanut was laying on the floor earlier this afternoon, where she lays usually right there kind of in front of me. And I said, oh, look at that little gal. And she, she'll stretch, right? And as soon as she stretched, she let the loudest fart I ever heard that dog let, man. It was so funny, man. And she whipped back and looked like, did I shit or what?
So go out to you and your family for that.
What's that?
I said thoughts go out to you and your family for that.
Nobody was around. It was just the other dogs. The other dogs don't give a shit. They don't care.
Fucking hell.
You didn't break
Man,
down
some
into
dogs can really lay some nasty smelling farts.
Oh boy,
for sure.
I know.
God, if you feed them wrong.
That littlest one of mine, she's a little Jack sheep. She's really little. She's a Chihuahua mixed with a Jack Russell. And she's my sleeping buddy, but sometimes, boy, she'll get up. She crawls right in. All I have to do, I lift up the blanket. She skedaddles right in there and burrows into me like a little tick, and curls right up. Sometimes, man, I'll be there laying asleep, and all of a sudden, I smell straight up shit, and I'm like, oh, that's just wrong, honey. And she just looks at me with this little look on her face, like, I'm sorry, Dad.
Dude, my cats can bust some ass too. I'm not gonna lie. They'll fucking crop dust the shit out of me. Like, you fucking cat, and they walk away like, yeah, what's the problem?
Yeah, it's your old.
I'm sure we don't all sit there and cry about it. Yeah.
Fuzzy Booger, you are old because cheese comes pre-sliced now. So
yeah.
It's the greatest thing since sliced fucking cheese. It's like, what?
I know what I feed you. What the heck did you eat?
I'm starting to sound like my dad. I'm starting to sound like my dad with shit. It's like, yeah, when I was a kid, fucking Hershey bar was the size of a Studebaker, and it only cost a nickel. It's like,
was Velveeta cheese really ever was it ever real cheese or
no, I don't think so.
It's cheese food product.
Yeah.
Cheese flavored or something.
Mostly oil with a little cheese flavor in it. They blend.
Vinyl. It's like one fucking molecule away from being vinyl.
You could almost use it for glue, couldn't you? Yeah.
You could.
Yeah.
You could. Maybe they have. Did you know that WD-40 came from the military?
I think I've heard that.
It was Wonder Drug 40, right?
No, what they used it for was they would use it as a rust inhibitor on the nuclear missiles in the silos. And then they realized that it was a really good penetrating lubricant, so they started marketing for that. But initially, it was developed for the military for that reason.
So I was going to ask you, Sob, did you get on social media after Peanut let one and then start crying?
No. I just laughed and kind of held my breath and thought, okay, well, this too shall pass. Poor little guy.
I heard that WD-40 was originally called Wonder Drug 40, and it was because if you rub it on your hands, it's really good for arthritis.
No, that's not true.
Well, that's what I heard.
It's not true. That's like that My Fat Greek Wedding, the guy who thought that putting Windex on everything fixed it. They put Windex on his elbows so they'd move better and shit. I'm like, oh God, that's some crazy shit. Well, guys, we've got up here and gone past the 3-hour mark. I'm going to have to get off here. Hit the old dream rack, so I want to thank everybody for coming up here tonight. Shifted Reality, Party Poet, Bree, JPA, Rocky, Derek Nelson, and Roger. Y'all came up here, all you people, Equinox. If I didn't get you when I first came on, see a few here. We got Martin Haley, OA popped in, Bad Pup. I've been kind of keeping track of what's going on in the chat, but it's hard for me, man. It really is. What is this? WD-40 water displacement spray, and 40th experiment was successful, and it does help joints. I ain't about to be putting no fucking petroleum products seeping into my skin for any reason whatsoever. That's one of the biggest reasons I don't partake with the pharmaceuticals from the big pharma, because 90% of those things are derivatives of oil. And that, I don't believe you're supposed to be putting that in your body. And let's face it, if it was really medicine, you wouldn't have to have a prescription refilled all the time, right?
Vaseline is petroleum. Vaseline is petroleum jelly.
I don't put that on me neither.
No, it's only for external uses.
But there's this thing called osmosis that happens with your skin, man. You will absorb shit. You wouldn't believe the bullshit they put in antiperspirant that you absorb through your skin. Perfumes, especially women with the douches and some of the feminine products and everything. They're horrible, man. It's horrible. And we wonder, why is our birth rate low? Why are there so many fucking women that can't breastfeed? And a lot of it even comes down to the materials we wear, shit that we wear for our undergarments, Lycra and things like that. You're not. That's bad for you, man. You're supposed to have copper. Yeah, that'd be real comfortable. I got my copper panties on.
Cotton and linen.
That's what I meant to say. Cotton and linen and that type of thing.
And silk, like silk is good if you can afford
Nylon's bad. Nylon's a bad thing. Polyester is horrible. I believe that, if I'm not mistaken, the Bible actually has what cloth. I mean, it's in Leviticus what your garments are to be made of and what they're not supposed to be made of.
Wool's the best. I like wool because it's like wool socks. They used to have real wool socks.
Yeah.
Now you can't even find real wool socks.
No.
It's disgusting.
It's all these, and they all got that stretchy bullshit in it. Did you know that even if your razors, right, like you use a disposable razor, or you got these ones that you can replace the head on it, right? They got that little strip of shit that's on there. It's right up at the top of the blades.
The lube, yeah.
Yeah, lube my ass. It's got minoxidil in it.
Nice.
That shit that makes you grow hair. So you have to fucking shave more.
Yeah, you got to shave to grow.
Yeah, I mean that's what goes on, man. And your beard is growing faster than it normally will because you're using minoxidil on it. The shit that they put in, aluminum and shit in your deodorants and your antiperspirants, it goes right into your system. It's chelated. You've got I mean, there's really a lot of bad stuff that people just innocuously use. I'm not a big fan of these fucking air fresheners and shit. Yeah, it might smell good, and that's going to entice you to want to sniff it, but I don't trust these motherfuckers. What's in it that's going to kill me? Why do they want me to smell this shit? You see?
Yeah, like the drinks, the modern drinks, like Monster drinks.
Oh yeah, those are terrible.
Look in the back of what's in that crap.
Yeah.
It's like, are they trying to make us monsters or something? What the fuck?
Well, they're basically telling you.
Look at the Monster Energy drink logo. That's a Hebrew 666.
I'm also a monster.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Monster Energy drink. Have you ever heard? Oh, look at he's chugging one right now. That shit'll kill you, brother. Shit'll kill you.
You know what the 666
yeah, it's all the
is?
same,
You
yeah.
know what the 666
As long as you got your wits
is
about
also
you.
it's the three nails, the three nails that Christ was driven in the cross. That's the three nails. It's also the 666 on your Monster drink.
No, that's Boost.
That's Boost, but on Monster, that is a Hebrew 666. The Red Bull, what is that? A red heifer? I don't know. You tell me. The shit is really bad. Even 7-Eleven has a brand of snacks called Go Yum. Say that real fast. Go Yum. Go Yum. Go Yum.
Shit.
Yeah, I'm not shitting you, man. This is some crazy stuff, and it's right there in your face.
It's all around us, and all the symbols are some kind of satanic shit behind them all.
Well, thank God that we are aware of it, because here's the thing. You know who's the hardest person to fucking hypnotize? It's the one who knows he's being hypnotized. And that's what I want all of you to be. I want to make you all into those people that
In denial, isn't it?
hypnotized. And none of this shit goes. And you know, we have to get into the stuff and pull that Jenga tile for the Tower of Deceit. And that Jenga tower tile is actually the flat earth, the creation, the realization that God, the creator, is real. Not the demigod, not the demiurge that took over in the Old Testament, not that bullshit. Okay? I'm talking about the creator God. That's the one that I'm talking about. The one that made this really cool little habitat for us. You know, that's the one I'm talking about. I'm talking about the embodiment of pure love, wisdom.
You mean the one that actually put Christ here? The one that sent Christ to this place and died for us. That God.
Yep.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah, probably. I mean, there again, I'm having to accept materials coming from a system that has been given a notorious track record for bamboozling the human race. So I have to take it for what it is. I know this. Practice your rights. Okay. What is a right? What is a right? A right is actually anything you do that's not wrong. And especially if it's benevolent to someone else. I like Lucky Haskins always says, you know, ask yourself, who can I help today? Who can I help today? And I think that's fantastic. That's a great thing to ask yourself. And that's your right. That is a right to help another person, you see. And you're helping, you're benefiting. So that's what you want to do. You always want to be at least of a benevolent nature.
Yes. Well, didn't Lucky try to help Will Duffy out and give him a place to go do a flat Earth experiment?
He did. Yes, he did.
Yeah. Poor Will. Wonder how he's in jail. You know what? I bet you that motherfucker's in prison.
Yeah, I haven't seen him around town. Yeah.
Robbing people.
I should go to his church next Sunday and go say hi to him.
Yeah.
There's D-Man. D-Man
Hey,
comes
D-Man.
on once again right as we're getting ready to cut up.
I know. Well, there's no internet. The internet's been on and off.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. Well, they had some snow this morning, and some tree fell on something at the end of the street. I was looking at the box here and there. Once in a while, I'd glance at the box, and then the light come back on. So I was like, "Hey, it's back."
I don't know why they don't run that shit underground.
Well, people cut
Stephen,
it.
you said that the three things on the drink is 666.
Yeah.
Yeah, monster.
Is it are those nails?
Yeah, they're like nails. Yeah.
So I think they're mocking us because it's the
Might be.
three nails that
But
held
that's
Christ on the
do
cross.
those Hebrew letters actually represent nails though? That's just the language. It may look similar to that. So does an eye. An eye looks like that. So if I had eyes,
Yeah,
that'd be
it's 666.
More like old
Drink of the
fashioned
devil.
spikes. They look like spikes, like spike nails, big Roman spike nails.
Well, that's
Probably
just the
not.
Hebrew letters, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
They used to be
read a little bit about
pictograms. The original Hebrew used to be pictograms. So each
I think
letter
you're reading a
also
lot. I think you're reading a lot more into it than there really is. So.
yeah. That's ancient. The modern Hebrew is not the same.
So I threw a picture in private chat of it that shows you it's in the alphabet. It's called VAV, V-A-V.
Now I half afraid to open up goddamn Pinterest. The damn thing always wanting me to join up and all this other dumb shit.
Yeah, you don't have to. It's just
I don't even know what the fuck it is. I don't even know what you do with it.
It's like a picture website. It's a picture. It's for like.
Yeah, they post like recipes and shit on there. And fucking.
That's all I wanted to show. That's it.
Yeah.
It's
So
not
it's
the
this
same.
one right here.
VAV.
Yeah, Vav. Not to be confused with Viv.
Yeah.
Tav. There's a
Or
one of
Vad.
the numbers. Tav. I think
Vad.
Tav represents the cross. Tav is a picture of a cross.
I love the Monster coffee, the Monster Loca Mocha coffees, but I won't drink them anymore.
No, I ain't touching that shit.
Is it me or does it look like hieroglyphics? Egyptian? No, or is that just me?
It's Hebrew.
It's Hebrew.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
They do have a
which is misogynistic. Why? How come it's not Hebrews and Shebrews? Right?
That was a good one, South. So what Rocky's going on is Paleo Hebrew. He keeps going to reference it. This Paleo Hebrew is way before Hebrew. They just developed a language out of it eventually called Hebrew.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, all languages are like that. If you go through all cultures, you'll find there's an ancient language like hieroglyphics. They don't speak hieroglyphics in Egypt now, do they?
Right. They would use pictorial images to.
Look at
there's a website that did a decode of scripture. It said God told us the end from the beginning. So you go to the very first word, decode it from the original ancient pictorial. It shows that Christ came from, and it's even a flat earth verse because it says he came down to the plane, and the last word is that the last letter is a tav. It leads you to the cross. The last letter is a tav. So he told you the end from the beginning, that he would die on the cross. In the very first word, beginning, that word translated.
Rocky, I'm really trying to get off here, man. I'm really trying to get off here, man. Really.
That's true, though. No, but
All right,
have a
so
good night, boys. God bless you all.
Good to see
Take care
everybody.
in the meantime.
All right,
So
guys. Yeah, buddy.
So I'll see you in 2 hours for the next 3-hour show.
Yeah, right.
Hey, don't worry, D-Man. I'm going to do a 2-hour show here in about 2
All
hours.
right, I'll
No,
hop
I'm
on.
going to
All
kick back. I'm going to watch an episode of Stargate SG-1, then I'm going to bed.
Oh, wow.
old school,
Come on,
Oh,
Zav.
better Stargate. Why not?
That's it. You've switched now. Now you're over at now you're in space. What the hell, man?
Well, here's the thing. I look at it like this, right? They're going to other lands. There ain't a whole lot of space, although they got some.
He's converting.
The thing about it that interests me is these Goa'ulds, these humans that are actually controlled by a parasitic organism. The system lords who have these powerful parasites that live within them, and then their servants that are made up of these guards, and their influence on these planets where they've colonized with humans so that they would mine this mineral that they want. It's kind of like the an Anunnaki story. But the thing is that when the host becomes damaged or old, then and this thing has the ability to heal and to repair, from being sick and shit like that. So these people never hardly ever get sick. And then they just move the worm to somebody else. And this makes sense to me because I'm thinking, why would these motherfuckers put into effect a plan and work all their life for a plan that they're never going to live long enough to see it come to fruition? Unless the ones actually planting it have a longer lifespan than the normal human. You see what I'm saying? That either an energetic possession or even possibly a physical possession of these hosts that require a specific genetic bloodline in order to be a proper host for that thing. And this is another reason why they have all the inbreeding and, families that they got family trees that are just basically sticks, shit like that.
That's for the time portal, wasn't it?
Yeah. So I mean, it's just an interesting story. Besides that, I like the characters on it. I used to watch it. It's kind of nostalgic to watch it again.
You don't need a phone booth or what did Doctor Who use to travel through time?
He used a phone
booth. Yeah,
exactly.
Magic phone booth. Like Bill and Ted. Bill and Ted did the same thing.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, with Keanu Reeves. Yep.
Yeah,
that was a good movie. Yep.
All right, guys. I want to thank everybody for coming on tonight. I want to thank everybody that showed up in the chat. If you feel like you want to support the show, the links are in the crawl at the bottom of the screen as well as in the description of the video. Be sure that you subscribe to my Rumble channel and my backup channel just in case we get a little too spicy and YouTube decides to whack our pee-pee just for a little bit, like I'll still be running shows over on the backup. So be sure that you're subscribed to that and hit the bell notification. So just in case something like that goes out, you will know about it. And most importantly, the Lord loves a working man. Don't never, ever, ever trust Whitey. See your doctor and get rid of him because he'll probably kill you. And if you heard the shot, well, babe, it probably wasn't meant for you. We'll see you next time on Sovereign Soul Unchained Mind. I'm going to go have a snack and go to bed. Bye.